cool that that there's no mummy shapeshifter. No mummy shapeshifter, no ghoul shape. No, yeah, no ghoul shapeshifter. You do have vampire shapeshifter because they can still shapeshift when they are alive. But I think that this is the very first background ever that you cannot really go for on all species. Anyway, yeah, sure, troll shapeshifter. Mark does recommend this. Oh, I see that beast form is already enabled by default. What's up with that? Beast talisman. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Sorry for that. I something weird happened with the OBS program. Sometimes it resets my microphone to default, and I have no idea what the default microphone is because it's not my headset's microphone. Anyway, as I was saying, um, I read the description of the talisman, and I think that it is still the correct thing to do to just train on arms combat until later in the game. Oh, +2 hat, that's nice. Cannot wear a +2 hat in beast form. Hmm. Hello, Ripophalum. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you around. We are playing some talismans because talismans are a thing now. I wanted to play yesterday, but unfortunately that was not a possibility. Just as I was about to start, there was a blackout that lasted for like an hour, and I didn't really want to stream after that, like so late. Yeah, I guess it had a good timing because it happened right as I was about to start. Like I stepped away from the computer to get some water and stuff, and it happened, and it was kind of freaky too because it wasn't just like oh lights electricity's out immediately. It was more like it was there was a dip in electricity and then like it just went off. Um, yeah. But there were no damages or anything, so things are okay. Yeah, I was slightly concerned for my computer because of that. Actually, hasn't been the first time um, that I have issues with one of my power supplies because of that kind of thing. Yeah. In fact, I thought that I was gonna like that I was never gonna have to upgrade my power supply, and my power supply was the first component that died from this computer. Like it was giving me constant blue screens and stuff like that. Pretty interesting experience. I have never had it happen until a couple of months ago. But I already got it fixed, so everything is okay. Yeah. It got merged. I guess the big question mark tile was a new talisman. Yep, the Beast Talisman. That's what it is. Apparently, it turns you into a furry, so it is important to upgrade away from it as soon as possible. I don't know if it's ideal for a troll to be using this, especially now that I have a +2 hat. Maybe using the +2 hat would be better. Um, where are those commas? Commas. Those commas. Commas. A question mark tile. Yep. At least it turns you into a question mark. Okay, we found a sewer. This is the Siren sewer or the Parky sewer? If I get a troll error, if it's a Parky sewer and I get troll error, this is gonna be great. I will not be a furry anymore, and I'll use that instead. And there it is. Okay. I don't have anything. Well, I guess I have a potion of 3. Is it worth it for me to use it right now? I guess yes. Yeah, I would say that it is worth it. And with a potion of 3, I'm gonna beat Pargy pretty one-sidedly. Interesting that you go from 3 form to beast form. Also interesting that when you start the game, you already start with the beast talisman already activated. I guess it's a quality of life feature because, like, if it wasn't like that, the very first action that you would do anyway would be to evoke the talisman. So it makes sense that it is like that. Yeah, shapeshifting is in invocations, evocations, and shapeshifting. Huh. Oh, throwing is now here. I don't know if I like it. I liked throwing when it was over here because these are like the consumable skills, right? Invocations, evocations, and throwing used to be. Shapeshifting is not really a consumable skill. I feel like I would like them swapped, or maybe shapeshifting even in the magic section, even though it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Um, anyway, I do notice that the screen real estate there is kind of pretty low. Yeah, there's not a lot of places where the devs can put anything when it comes to that specific screen. What is Shortblades doing there? Let me explain it. For this, I'm gonna have to switch to console. My audio is still okay. Okay. Fighting and spellcasting, self-explanatory. These scale with strength. Maces, axes, polearms, staves, and arm combat and throwing scale with strength. These scale with dexterity. Short blades, long blades, and ranged weapons. These are defensive. Armor dodging, shields, and stealth. Spellcasting. These are magic. You know the drill. And these used to be the consumable ones, or at least like the least defined ones for me. Throwing used to be here because throwing is a skill based around a consumable. Shapeshifting is not quite a consumable. That's why I don't really like it here. But as I was saying, I have no idea where else could be put on this screen. So yeah, that's why the distribution is like this. This is not really that recent in mainline crawl. It's been like that for at least a year at this point. I personally like it. I think that it makes it easier for a new player to know what's going on. Anyway, I think that this ogre might kill me when I get out of this. I have a couple of options there. I could try to kill the ogre and get killed by it. I could also just leave, but I took the third option, which was just going in. I like that this Ossuary lost all the traps. The traps were annoying more than dangerous. Like, I don't think anyone ever died to a trap here. When they were made visible. Maybe this Ossuary could use a bit more of a rework, or just get removed altogether now that, traps are not a thing that exists in this game. Okay, we got a potion of 3. That's actually gonna be really useful for surviving this guy. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it right now. I know that if I don't use potion of 3 versus that ogre, I was not gonna be able to beat it. What is that? Oh, look at that. In console, it looks like a square. That's so funny. Hey, we found statue form. Oh no, we found statue form. Minimum skill 15. Insufficient skill lowers this form's max HP. Wow. That's sick. 3 talisman? Oh, it was a potion of 3. I wish there was a 3 talisman, but wouldn't really work that well. Anyway, now that I have a statue form, I guess that it makes sense to go for a lot of shape shifting, right? I wonder how much. Ooh, 24 HP. Oh boy, that's so funny. Yeah, okay, that's pretty funny. I'm glad that I decided to do that, even though obviously I'm not gonna like stick with it. Um, I'll use it eventually, but like that's a bit too high level for me to have found at this point in the game. It's not really unlike finding just straight up statue form. Um, we found manifold assault. Hmm. I wonder how good it could be to go for manifold assaults. Um, oh, transmutations still exists. Um, Humans have a very bad aptitude for shapeshifting, I heard. Let's actually take a look at that. What's the button for the aptitudes? It's this one, right? Yeah, okay. Human. Human. Shapeshifting. Shapeshifting human. Shape-shifting human. Shape-shifting human. Oh, there it is. -2 for the human. Baraki has -1. Deeple has -1. Cat and Formicid has -1 too. Null has +6, obviously. Merfolk is the best at +1. That's kind of crazy. Spriggan also has +1. Maybe Spriggan is going to be slightly less miserable to play now that it is like this. What was their old aptitude for transmutations? I wonder if it's still the same, if it didn't get nerfed in any way whatsoever. Um, I hear that transmutations as a skill might get removed altogether, and all the spells that are currently transmutations that are not form spells might get shuffled around. The same way that charms, when charms got removed, the same thing. So Spriggan, they have +3 transmutations. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, the skills for shapeshifting are not very high for anyone because it makes sense that it is like that because um, lots of lots of spells like that require you to get intelligence and to level up spell casting, sometimes other schools as well. Like for example, for statue form, it was at least 12 levels in earth magic and transmutations, right? Sometimes a bit more than that alongside the intelligence. Now you don't have to get intelligence, you don't have to get transmutations, you don't have to get earth magic, you only have to get shape shifting. So it makes sense that those skills are not very high. Or like the aptitudes for those skills are not very high for that skill. You think there's another talisman on the floor on D2 or 3? There is a beast talisman. I didn't pick it up. I heard that it may be that talismans get the same treatment as experience evocable, where now only one spawns in the game. So like if you already have a condenser vein, you're not gonna find more condenser veins on the floor. They should really do that for sure. I am not opposed to that change. Do I go Okawaru? Okawaru, whatever. It's like the first run. I'm gonna go Okawaru because Okawaru is very powerful. And Okawaru is really the ideal god for a troll. Hero is great for unarmed combat. Like it's even better than it would normally be for unarmed combat, and it also is Okawaru will provide you with throwables and cool stuff like that. Um, this is gonna be fun. This is I suspect gonna be a good character. So far, I haven't trained any shapeshifting, and by extension, I don't really know how impactful would it be to train it. Yeah. Unarmed combat based damage is like +2. I wonder if that, like, I think it does take into account the fact that I already have claws because the indicator says claws, but I don't know how exactly it works. Apparently, the more skill with shapeshifting you have, the more slaying you get from using the beast talisman. Cool. Anyway, let's see. Your damage rating with an armed combat is about 29. That's pretty good. Base 9. Okay, so it's like being a troll. Plus 10 in armed combat, multiplied by 140, multiplied by 102, plus 2 slay. So yeah, this beast form is pretty much plus 2 slaying. Mm. And it only does that, right? I heard that it used to also have Wereblood, permanent Wereblood, as in whenever you killed something, it healed you. But I suspect that was like Giga busted, and that's why it's not like that anymore. Okay, 11 unarmed combat, so now we're gonna get 10 fighting. And after that, we're gonna go hard on shapeshifting so that I can do statue form funny stuff. Well, it's called Granite Talisman, but it is a statue form. Transforms the user into a stone statue. Slow stone statue. The caster's melee damage when unarmed and with weapons is substantially increased. The caster's stone body is immune to poison and miasma, gains resistance to electricity and negative energy. Yeah, literally statue form. Shapeshifting skill increases armor granted. Not bad. Maximum skill 23. I think it's okay that it gives you like magic numbers. It's funny. Like it really is funny to me. Because shields recently lost magic numbers, and now the devs are introducing a school that does explicitly have magic numbers. I do not mind. I just wish that there was cohesiveness, I suppose you could call it that. Why can some skills like weapons and now these can have magic numbers? Why do they have magic numbers, and why does shield not get to have magic numbers? Plus even slaying on beast form if you have shapeshifting, then I think that's how it works. This is my first run with it, so I don't know for real. I am tempted to train some dexterity, and I'm actually going to do so because I'm already gonna get a ton of strength, and since I already have statue form, I'm probably just gonna use that for the rest of the game. It's gonna be a novel experience to have statue form as a troll. I don't think that I've ever done it. I wonder if it's like straight up statue form, the good old statue form that we all know and love. This might be a bit of an issue. I might be interested in running away from here. Yeah, because Menkari is destroying me. I was gonna say that Menkari is getting lucky with the damage roll or with the willpower rolls, but it's Torment, like that doesn't check willpower. Remove skill affecting delay. I think that if anything, it would go the exact opposite way. I think that it's more likely for things to go the shield's way than it is for skill affecting delay going away. So what I mean by that is that maybe you would only get min delay at 27 skill with the weapon, no matter what kind of weapon it is. There's some reasons why I think that's never gonna actually be the case, fortunately, because that would make weapons a bit less distinct from one another, and I don't think the devs want to do that. But yeah, if it was going to be like that, I suspect that's how they would do it. You know, there's a bunch of monsters here. The white with a polearm is kind of ruining everything. If it didn't have a polearm, I would have already killed it. Okay, we get lucky with 0 evocations, use some Mind Burst. And there we go. Like, we actually deal crazy damage. It feels like I'm playing a troll that started with a +2 Ring of Slaying, which is not particularly incredible, but it's also better than old troll Transmuter, you know? Transmuter was a terrible background. One of the worst backgrounds in the game ever since they lost Sticks to Snakes. And I definitely never advocated for bringing back Sticks to Snakes. That spell was obscene. Um, and quite unfun, in fact, I would like to say. I'm okay. I'm gonna buy one potion of mutation just to identify it. Yeah, the seal's pretty strong, but I do have to refresh your memory. This started as a troll. This is still a troll, so no wonder the early game is gonna be good. It's gonna get spicy later on. Or I would like to say it would get spicy if I didn't have, the statue form talisman already. All that it's all that it takes is for me to actually start training for it, and we're gonna have a pretty good run. Okay, we found troll letter. I'm gonna try this on transform. Wear troll letter. Wear the hat. Okay, so um, we're sacrificing some damage output, some slaying, for extra armor class and regen. And I think that's a pretty good trade-off. Not that we desperately need regen or anything, but it definitely is a nice thing to have. I'm always happy to have extra sources of regen. The more regen, the better. Yep. So Beast Talisman from my limited use seemed to be rather low impact, but I also didn't train the skill. Maybe if I had trained the skill, it would have been a much more interesting thing to have. Um, Let me read it once again. Maybe like shape-shifting skill increases the killing power provided. Um, so it doesn't increase like your armor class or anything or your HP. It only increases the damage that you do. Um, So I would say that it doesn't really make a lot of sense to train shape shifting instead of an armed combat because like the damage increase, you would get way more of a damage increase from training on armed combat you would get from training shape shifting. At least so far, it still seems to me like the correct way to go at it is to do what we have always done: train on armed combat first, and then train fighting, and then other stuff. Okay, that's a lot of enemies. Nothing to really worry about. Once again, troll, very powerful. I'm about to get my 10 fighting. I'm gonna get 10 invocations, and then we're gonna get 15 shapeshifting, so I can use that. I might go all the way to 23 shapeshifting, so I can use max power statue form, just to see how it is. But yeah, I'm getting invocations here because I need to have access to reliable hero and finesse ideally. Okay, what is gonna give me a bunch of weapons that I'm not really gonna use? I might use throwables, however, because throwables are pretty good as a troll, especially as a troll of Okawaru. I don't want them to steal protagonism from what I am intending to do, which is use my recently acquired statue form. But it's still gonna be an okay thing to add to my repertoire, I suppose. Oh, okay, finding blinking in a shop is a big deal. I'm also gonna buy these. Yeah, wow, we had 6 blinking. Okay, this is already a blessed run. I really suspect that when you pick a simple species, the game just gives you a seed that's way more generous than normal. Like, do you see this? This is kind of insane. I'm gonna get the amulet of regen, or I might get the money, but those two are my main options: amulet of regen and money. 6 blink, where the throw bad? I don't know. I feel like I value having my blinking a lot more than dumping them onto a trove that's not gonna give me anything of relevance to my character. Um, yeah, I've had characters that go for the entirety of the game without finding 6 scrolls of blinking. This character is on D10 and it already has that, so the future is very bright for this character. Ouch. The gargoyle was pretty rough. I was not expecting it to be that powerful. Um, Hmm. Ouch. Okay. I think that I'm just gonna acquire the amulet of regen. Yeah, just give me 3 sources of regen. How can I say no to having 3 sources of regen? Look at that. 2.78 regen per turn. That's almost 3 regen per turn. It's kind of bonkers if you think about it. I can out-heal almost anything that the game can throw at me at this point. Not literally everything, but I can out-heal almost everything. Like, for example, I don't think that I would be able to beat a Hydra in melee, which, by the way, is soon going to be my greatest worry because we're about to go to Lure. We're on the 11 already. Mm, I think that the correct thing to do if you're a troll is very often to just put experience into throwing so you can actually kill the Hydras that you're gonna almost inevitably see in Lure. But I just didn't do it this time. I think it might be a bit too late to go for that. 7% chance to fail finesse. I think that I'm okay with that. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go for 8 invocations just because I'm a bit pressured for experience. I'm gonna go for 10 throwing. Trove could have all the things, but it's not gonna have anything. Like it could have all the things, but it's not actually gonna have anything. Okay, Kawaru gives me a rock. Cool. Lair. Oh, immediately teleported upon entering the lair. I think that's one of the least funny things that Crawl can do whenever you enter a level and you're immediately teleported away. I think Fanar is not gonna use Fridge because there's some allies. Things are okay. I am going to use Hero actually. Maybe I should have used it before fighting Fanar. But as you can see, my damage is kind of ridiculous. Also, oh, with Hero I had 16 evasion. Without Hero I have 14. It's still pretty high. Oh, I have a Ring of Evasion. That explains everything. Yeah, I didn't even notice it. When I found it, I just instantly put it on without even thinking about it. Some skills. Some skills are pretty good, I think. I think that I can sacrifice one source of regen for the extra armor class and the poison resistance. After all, we are on the land of the poisonous damage. I don't seem to have Wand of Flame, which is kind of unusual. Oh, Blade Talisman. That's Blade Hands. Um, Causes long, needle-thin blades to grow from the user's claws and smaller fragments of metal to grow inside their body, deforming them and reducing the effectiveness of body armor. Shapeshifting skill mitigates and eventually eliminates the latter effect. While transformed, equipped weapons, shields, and gloves are melded, and casting spells becomes somewhat more difficult. Cool. Minimum skill 9. Um, Jeez. Oh, wow. Defense HP 40% reduced by your low skill. Armor class -7. Minus 100% of your body armor's 7 base armor class. Offense unarmed combat base damage 18. This is kinda extremely strong, isn't it? I'm gonna have a good time with this character. I'm 100% sure. Unfortunately, it's not like glove hands. It is blade hands, so you cannot use that to avoid chopping off Hydra heads, which is kind of lame. I do have to say that the hypothetical ogre or troll transmuter of previous versions could go into ice form to not chop off Hydra heads. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. I don't know for real, but I think that's how it worked. I don't think that Ice Beast form chopped off Hydra heads. Okay, that's a beast of a Ballax. The other day I played a Healorc, and my Healorc never found anything nearly as good as this. I did use a Bump Ballax for pretty much the entirety of the game until Sot, where I died. but I sure wish that I had found that or something similar to that much earlier. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, get over here so that I do not get my nets wasted on me. That's nice. Let's see. I don't have magic mapping, right? Yeah, I don't think I have magic mapping. Since I have already, oh, there it is. Since I have already identified blinking, I can just read all my scrolls. However, I do not have much incentive to do so because I also already have found acquirement. So I can just be patient with my scrolls and I won't really be losing anything. This has been a pretty great run so far. We've also been going through the game very quickly. Nothing too unexpected for a troll. Okay, rendered ring and rendered ring that I cannot pick the two off, and the scarf, and that is also interesting. So I can go for rendered ring plus the scarf, I think, and that's probably the best that I can get. File of Lots is also interesting, but I can get rendered rings, scarf, and File of Lots. That is very difficult to beat. I would make a run for it, but I think that it is correct not to. Yeah, I think that I can just sit here and kill everything. And in fact, it is safer because if I venture into the outside, I would be surrounded and take a lot of damage. Okay, pretty rough. Large Abomination decided that it was a good idea to deal a lot of damage to me, and so it did. And it actually hurt quite a bit. Okay, I can beat these guys. I still should maybe use Finesse for safety. I didn't want to rest my HP because I still have Hero. Maybe I should have, just to not be greedy. Okay, the ring is pretty good actually. 5 strength and resistance to electricity. It's not something that I am interested in putting on right now, but it will be great later on. I'm always a fan of having access to that kind of thing. Okay, we can start training shapeshifting now. I'm pretty excited for being able to use blade hands and statue form as a troll. It's a very weird thing to have access to. I'm gonna use hero. Gonna throw a net. Okay, that wasn't difficult. And like, look at the Kawaru gifts. They have been out of this world, just as the amount of scrolls of blinking that I found. Why do I have 8 scrolls of blinking? I mean, I'm not complaining, but it does feel extremely unusual to me. Okay, lots of useless items in here, funnily enough. But we got some extremely good stuff out of there. Nothing that really changes my game plan, but things that will be useful in the near future when I go to bolts and stuff like that. Ooh, perhaps taking the fight here was a bit too ambitious. Have I already found Scrolls of Fear? I don't think so. No, I have not found Scrolls of Fear. So there's a very reasonable possibility that this could be Scrolls of Fear. Well, that is not it. And that is not it. Okay. Last chance. It was a Scroll of Fear. Beautiful. Yep. I felt like that was the best way to go at it. Like the best option that I had. I'm gonna try to leave the level. These things are way too strong. I do not like the idea of walking through so much unrevealed terrain, but there's not really a lot that I can do. Yeah, I should have just left, because now I'm gonna get attacks of opportunity. Or I'm gonna get hit by attacks of opportunity. I'm gonna hero finesse these guys. If I had might, I would also might. If I drop below 50% HP, I think that I use 3 form, and I can survive this fight if I do that. Ooh. I played that very poorly. I definitely have been playing this extremely poorly. Okay. Sometimes I wonder if I should just disable the low hit point warning altogether, because it's pretty annoying when I'm in situations like these where like the correct thing to do is to continue fighting. Um, and I am aware that it is the correct thing to do, but I feel like I already have it pretty low. There's some people that I consider to be absolutely crazy that have it very high, like the low hit point warning. They have it at like 70% or so. Um, I have it at 30%, and it has very rarely killed me to have it that low. Um, I think that 30% is the right amount for low hit point warning. Like 50% is too high for me, because I feel like I can drop to below 50% in like a normal fight, and I would still be able to win. Um, but 30% is a point where I should probably use a scroll blinking or something like that. Or, danger consumables like Scrolls of Fear or Potions of 3. Um, yeah, if I dropped it any more than 30%, I feel like that could seriously kill me very frequently. And if I had it above 30%, it would also be very annoying. Definitely not something that I'm interested in doing. Um, is why you're out of fight. The warning is turned off. You don't spam tab. You press it when you want to. Oh, I do spam tab, so it does help me. I feel like spamming tab is a good thing to speed up your gameplay. Sometimes there are situations where, like, for example, this one. Um, and I feel like I try to build my characters in such a way that almost all situations are like that. Um, Yeah. If it was more like Rift Wizard, because in Rift Wizard there's auto picking up items, but there's no auto fighting, and there's a good reason for that. It's because that every action and every spell that you cast, has tons of variables, and like the routes are endless in Rift Wizard. Like every turn can be played in a million different ways. As opposed to crawl, where like more often than not you have very little options that do not require you to sacrifice like an infinite, or not an infinite, a finite. That's what I meant, a finite consumable. Because the consumables in crawl are really some of the things that enable the most exciting and curious things that you can do in crawl, but you really cannot spam those. In Rift Wizard, there's a spell strong enough to be worthy of being consumables in crawl. For example, there's Blink in Rift Wizard, and Rift Wizard Blink is not even like a high level spell, and it's controlled Blink, like straight up controlled Blink. It's pretty crazy strong. You can even make it go through walls. And that's normal in Rift Wizard, but in Crawl it would be Giga Busted. And we know because it was already in Crawl and it was Giga Busted and it was removed. Um, yeah, I think that's why I like Rift Wizard so much, because of stuff like that. That's a pretty dangerous situation to be in. So how is shapeshifting going? 9. That means that I can already use blade hands. I wonder how much armor class I would lose. Uh, like maybe I would already lose 100% of my armor class. Come on, come on. This would be a situation where low hit point warning would be very annoying. This is still not a good situation. Alrighty. That didn't go terribly. In fact, it went very well because that was a situation where there was a very real possibility of having to use consumables to win the fight or to run away, and I didn't have to do that. Probably a bit risky, but it went okay. I dropped the Ring of Strength because I have a Ring of +5 Strength and other good stuff, so I know that if I ever want a Ring of Strength, I'm not going to be using a Ring of +6 Strength. Okay, been finding the talismans for sure. So, I guess it's time for me to try to use the Blade Talisman. Armor class -7, minus 90% of your body armor's 7 base armor class. Look at that, you need 20 skill to remove the armor class penalty. I am curious, because it's a lot of damage. Okay, let's try it, only for a bit. I lose 4 armor class, or like I go to 4 armor class, which is pretty bad. Man, I took so much damage from that Komodo dragon. I'm gonna have it on for a bit, but I'm sure that I'm gonna turn it off before too long because it's not like I'm struggling for damage. Damage rating is 49. Yeah, the damage is kinda bonkers, but I think that I would rather have the extra survivability that I have in troll form. And yeah, like when I get to 15, it's gonna be statue form time, and I'm pretty sure that I'll just have statue form on for a significant part of the game. And wow, what's up with the gifts? Like the gifts are crazy good. Why are they crazy good? I don't know. I mean, they're only crazy good because I'm not using them, I suppose. But yeah, very dangerous to be walking around here with 4 armor class, fighting multiple monsters. Like I don't think that I would have issues dealing with this if I was not in blade hands. Yeah, so I think that I'm gonna read a scroll fear and I'm gonna on blade hands because I'm not liking it at all. I feel like it's only really good when you don't have the penalty. What happens if I drop it? Oh, you still have it. Huh. If you drop it, you still have it. Interesting. Here, have a +12 super sword. Can Ghost Mummies Shapeshifter or are they excluded? They're excluded. Like Troll. Troll is not excluded. I'm playing a Troll today. But yeah, they're not. Oh, you mean like transmutations? Yeah, they're excluded like transmutations. Yeah, and here we can see that the added survivability that I have in troll form really is much better than what I had from blade hands. Okay, first Hydra. I have jabs for Hydras, and the Hydra is killing me despite my javelin throwing. Didn't lose any jabs so far. That's pretty nice. Okay. Pretty good. Hey, look at that. My title is Mimic because shapeshifting is my highest skill. That's pretty funny. So on the contrary, we have already tried blade hands. What if I use a statue form to, like I know that it's gonna reduce my HP a bit. I had 133, now I have 108, but look at the armor class that I have. The attack delay is 1.2, 1.1. That is to be expected, but I'm definitely killing things alright. Unfortunately, it's still Stone Claws, or I guess fortunately, because that, like I deal a ton of damage. Like nothing bad is happening here. The only issue that I have is that I cannot really tab Hydras if I'm in statue form. And since my way of killing Hydras is to throw javelins at them, this is just a straight nerf towards dealing with Hydras, but it is a pretty massive buff at killing everything else. Yep, who would have guessed that having 31 armor class at this point in the game would be really good? Yeah, bring it on. They're not dealing damage to me. Huh. Did I must have leveled up because Like I don't already have the skill to mitigate all the penalties from the amulet or from the talisman. Insufficient skill lowers this form's max HP. HP 92%. Okay, yeah. Not terrible, not terrible. Bonus armor class plus 29, plus 38 at max skill. I like that it tells you how much armor class you can get from leveling up to max. Yeah, I like transparency and I like solid numbers and certainty, magic numbers, you know. So I like how this has been done so far. And yeah, here we can see that I turned it on at 10 shapeshifting, and it's really not been an issue. So I consider it to be a good idea to do so. If you are a troll shapeshifter and you happen to find one of these, I wonder how the fire dragon is gonna go, however. There's a fire dragon here, and it could be pretty dangerous. I don't have fire resistance. No, I don't have any sources of that. Yeah, we got the Jiva altar, but I decided against it because we're already a worshipper of Okawaru, and I don't like abandoning gods. As I have said multiple times, I would rather die than go Lugonu in the Abyss. Okay, I won the fight versus the Fire Dragon, but it did get pretty spooky. It hit me kinda hard twice when it used its breath weapon, 33 and 27. It was probably a bit more than that, because after all I do have regen sources and stuff. Okay, I'm fighting while surrounded, and my HP is going down, but it didn't go down nearly as much as it would have if I had not been in statue form. So far it's going very well to be in statue form. Like, no complaints about it. Okay, this has been kind of tricky. We killed the Guardian Serpent at least, so yeah, things went okay. Alrighty, not bad. Oh, by the way, what is this? More talisman. Transforms the user's midsection into a giant mouth, gnashing and ready to devour foes. The mouth may devour slain creatures, healing the user to an extent increased by the user's shapeshifting skill and the power of the creature eaten. Skill also increases the damage done by the maw. Unarmed combat base damage 5, so you get a teeny tiny upgrade to your base damage. The base damage of unarmed combat is 3. 3 plus unarmed combat skill, and in the case of a troll, it's plus 6 because they have clause 3, so this is a bit more than that. And more damage 19, max 20. Okay. While transformed, any body armor is melted. I think that I wonder if it would be too good for talismancers or for shapeshifters to start with this item, because like these restrictions and body armor are pretty bad. That would make me not want to use it on so many characters. In fact, I'm using the form that gives me more armor class instead of the ones that give me less. But then again, I may have just gotten lucky and I have the form that does give me more armor class, and maybe that's the right thing to do, and there's nothing weird about using the stronger item if you find it earlier. That could be what's happening. Maw sounds fun. That is blocking a talisman. Yeah. We are going to drop the Blaze Talisman. I don't really see myself using it. The damage, the armor class decrease is crippling. Like, it's seriously bad. The damage output is great, but the damage decrease is just too much. I also have Stone Form, Statue Form, and I like Statue Form a lot. Statue Troll. Do I get max HP? hold on. What happens if I untransform? Okay, that's what I was expecting. Yeah. In normal troll form, I have 143 HP, and in statue form, I have 147. So it is already a slight upgrade at 12.9 skill. At 15 skill, I might have a bit more HP than that. Um, I think it's plus 30% HP, like normal statue form. It's not plus 50%, that's dragon form. So it might be 30% when you get to 23 skill, which is where it caps out. Yeah, maximum skill 23. I like that you can use it even if you don't have the minimum skill, but it lowers the form's max HP. Ha! HP 102% reduced by your low skill. Bonus armor class plus 30. I definitely like to see that. Let's go and use it again because I accidentally used it. I think that we have to drop the Beast Talisman. That is kind of worthless. Yeah, I also think that Maw form sounds interesting, but the main issue that I have with it is that like it removes your body armor. Beyond the earliest parts of the game, that is a pretty bad effect, and that's why I said that it maybe would be interesting if Shapeshifter started with it as well, so that you could use it once you get the skill to actually be able to use it, because that's the exact point in the game where that item is worth using. Um, and like I feel like if you want to use that form right now, the stars need to align. You need to find it early in like that small window where it is reasonable to actually use that thing. Because like going into Lair, you don't want that. Everything in Lair hits hard enough for you to not want to not have armor class, unless it is something like a Draconian or so. Maybe a Gargoyle could also get away with it, but I know for sure that this troll cannot get away with not having armor class. Anyway, we are done with this. Let's go back to the dungeon to find the entrance to Orc. We find a two-headed ogre, which promptly gets completely one-shot. Your damage rating with unarmed combat is about 49, base 18. This damage also gets increased further. Like, I know for sure that it gets increased further. It may say 49, but I think that statue form increases the damage that you deal by 50%. After all the modifiers or something like that. It's something pretty strong. Yeah. You move slowly, but you do crazy damage. And I'm glad to see that that component of statue form is still there. Oh boy, statue form versus centaurs. But the thing is that I have high enough armor class that they are not really able to punch through it, so walking towards them is not an issue. I don't think that's gonna be the case when we see Yoctars and other stuff like that. Hey, look at that talismans. Talisman of Death. This is the one that turns you into Death form, which, yeah, minimum skill 21, maximum skill 27. Foes struck by users' melee weapons or hands are weakened, slowed, and drained, and they can heal themselves by tormenting foes nearby. Shape-shifting skill increases the effectiveness of the latter. The user also resists cold and is immune to poison, miasma, negative energy, and torment. So yeah, literally mummy form. Well, apart from the torment. The user also gains some of the most dubious benefits of having an undead body. They're vulnerable to holy damage and dispel undead and cannot consume potions. HP 30%, of course. On our combat base damage 9, but it does have an evocable ability that literally torments the monsters next to you or close to you and heals you. It costs 20 mana as far as I'm aware, so very expensive but very powerful. I might go for it. Serpent Talisman transforms the user into a giant cold-blooded anaconda ready to wind their coils around foes and crush them to death. Shapeshifting skill increases the armor provided by the snake's scales, while transforming any equipped weapons and armor on Meldon and casting spells is much more difficult. Okay, minimum skill 9, max skill 20, HP 120%, not bad. Bonus armor class plus 10, plus 12 at max skill. do keep in mind that it melts your entire armor, all of your armor. So that means that if I use this, I have 10 armor class. It may not be a bad trade-off for a particularly unlucky troll, but this one has a statue form, so this is not a particularly unlucky troll. Statue form was the first form that I found too. Yeah, extremely lucky. On combat base damage 12, strength plus 5. Eh, that's okay. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I think that I shouldn't really use the forms that are not statue form because I think statue form is probably the strongest one. Um, where did the invisible monster go? Come on, are you not gonna fight me or something? That was unusual. The unseen horror. Um, doing weird stuff. Okay, clock of willpower. We are going to enchant that because that is powerful enough to be worth enchanting. Um, um, okay. I don't really have anything that I want to read or to be excited about, but I already found acquirement. Not to mention that I also have already found all that I could possibly wish for with this character, kind of. I didn't even think about it, but statue form gives me resistance to electricity, so the ring of resistance to electricity that I have is significantly less important. I am much more interested in finding a ring of fire and cold resistance. Properties that I have already found in weapons, but oh, look at that. Ask and ye shall be given, I suppose. This ring is absolutely bonkers. Goodbye, old ring of willpower. Kind of hard for it to compete with a ring that also gives fire resistance and also resistance to electricity and poison resistance if I do choose to stay away from this form, which might happen if I find dragon form, to be completely fair. Yeah, so far this has been a pretty good and enjoyable run. Let's hope that it stays like that, because I like enjoyable runs of crawl. Those are the best. Oh, there's an unseen horror. Didn't even... Oh no, it's not unseen horror. It was like an invisible monster. Didn't even notice it. But yeah, this is pretty powerful. I suspect that eventually we're gonna get to the point where I'm not gonna have such a good time with this, but I hope that doesn't happen very soon. Oh, come on. I guess that the only thing that I can really do is Wand of Light and then walk away. And it's chasing after me. Come on, go in the opposite direction. Oh, come on. Well, I still have 0 evocation, so I guess that the only thing that I can really do is throw my jabs. Does statue form increase the damage of your throwables? I'm not sure. Caster's melee damage, so yeah, I suspect that it doesn't increase the damage of your throwables. It maybe should, because after all their throwables, they're not being shot from a launcher. Come on. Okay, one of these days I'm gonna be able to kill this Hydra. Run out of nets, or run out of jabs. It's kind of a shame. I have silver jabs. I also have rocks that I can always use. Okay, yep. Strong character is still pretty strong. Tower shields. You guys think that's an interesting item for me to have? The tower shields? Okay, let me see how much HP I have from the Granite Talisman. 118. I'm starting to suspect that I'm gonna get to 130% HP by the time I get to 15 skill. Yeah, it's looking kinda suspiciously like that. And I suspect that training any more shape-shifting beyond that is not gonna increase my HP. But it's going to increase my armor, because it does say in the description that it will increase my armor. Gonna read a book and maybe go to bed early. Yeah, sure. Enjoy your early bed. That does sound pretty nice. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yep. I have a lot of plans to play a lot of shapeshifters in the near future because shapeshifters are the new shiny thing. That is actually pretty interesting. Hmm, hmm. I went for drinking potions of mutation. Maybe it wasn't the best thing to do. Um, it didn't really give me like frailness or something like that. Like nothing too terrible, but I did come out of drinking 2 potions of mutation with 2 bad mutations. Nothing, nothing good as an upside. So not the greatest. Okay, rocks on the quiver. How much? Oh, -3 evocations. Yeah, these guys are not really built for using evocables or anything like that. Okay, statue form is great for a troll, obviously. Yeah, this is kind of fantastic. And I suspect that I'm getting it way, way, way earlier than I would have been able to get it ever if I had gone a troll transmuter and I had found statue form as early in the game as I did find this. Um, so yeah, like the troll with statue form is so good. It is fantastic. Because the troll's main weakness is that beyond a certain point in the game, everything starts to hit you like a truck, and I will not have that issue when I have 36 armor class. On the other hand, I will be the one hitting things like a truck. Um, it's already been happening for a good amount of time. Let's go to work now. I don't want to do D15 so early. I dove a bit further than usual because I felt pretty powerful, but D15 is a bit too much. And even then, I was running into the possibility of getting shafted. Fortunately, it didn't happen. Attraction would be a great thing to have here. I may have it, but it's certainly not identified. And I don't want to drink random potions. Maybe I hit cancellation. On the other hand, I don't know if potions of cancellation remove the form. They don't. Oh yeah, I do remember that. I remember Debs saying that now getting Quicksilver it won't end your transformation. That's like a gigantic buff to anything that wanted to use forms. Because the worst part about using a form before was that in Sot, like Sot was the land of the monsters with Quicksilver bolts, Quicksilver dragons and purple draconians had it. So you always like cast a form or stuff like that, and they immediately remove it. Removed it. It was pretty awful, but now it is much better. Now that it cannot be cancelled like that. Yep. Statue form troll taking over the world with 193 HP and 36 armor class. Yep, stabbing things like they're nothing, orc knights and everything. And I have enough willpower too that this guy cannot really paralyze me. So far it's going very well, yeah. Yeah, this has been a pretty great run. Necklace of Bloodlust. Dragon Blood Talisman. That is more interesting than the Necklace of Bloodlust. Minimum skill 17. Vial of pure dragon blood crystallized over many years transforms the user into a mighty fire-breathing dragon. User becomes highly resistant to fire and resistant to poison but weak to cold. Shapeshifting skill increases damage from claws and armor from scales. Huh, it increases damage. That's interesting. It didn't used to do that. Um, yeah, it didn't used to do that. I think that's kind of a bit of a lame thing because I think that the HP penalties are already pretty severe to put damage scaling on top of that. Hmm. It's not terrible, as you can see. Like unarmed combat base damage 32, max 40. I think that the base damage of Dragon Form before this used to be 38, so I mean you can still get the max damage, and in fact a bit more than that. But you need to max the skill, you need 27 shapeshifting, which might not be feasible. I'm gonna put it on the wish list. I may buy it. There's no guarantees, but I may buy it. Yeah, this is great, by the way. Like, what kind of character could you play that could consider going between statue form and dragon form and mummy form and storm form? Like, this character can do that. And it's a troll. That's the craziest part. No troll like that could ever do that before so early into the game. Like, of course, if you go do Sigrat, like you can just get 27 in every skill with any species, and then you can do whatever you want. But in Nork, to have the option of switching between dragon form and statue form as a troll, that's kind of crazy, and I like it. This is fantastic. Yeah, big fan of this rework so far. I'm also slightly fearful of some unfortunate and unwanted downsides to be added to the mechanic of transmutations, the same way that it happened with shields and with launchers and recent reworks. But nothing like that is here, at least not that I can see. The only nerf that is noticeable to me is the dragon form damage nerf, and like that's not really that much of an issue. Like if you're at a point where you can seriously use it, 38 damage, 32 base damage and 38 base damage are not really that much of a difference. Like, you're still gonna one-shot a lot of things. It's not like it stays at 32 only. It just keeps going up until it hits 40. So yeah, that's okay. No complaints, or very little complaints here. Okay, still pretty strong. Strong enough so that these guys are not much of a threat. Beautiful. Nothing here for me. Oh, maybe this, actually. Hey, let's drink that. Shoutitis? Whatever. I think it's pretty funny to be able to get shoutitis and noise dampening. I feel like those two mutations should be mutually exclusive, but they're not, and so I have them both with this character. This character has one weakness, and that is the lack of cold resistance. It will be an issue much later into the game. For now, it is whatever. I do wish that I had a good source of cold resistance already. I have a ring of cold resistance, but I think that I like my ring of evasion a bit more. A hat of cold resistance would be nice. The hat of the alchemist would obviously be incredible as always. The hat of the alchemist has never not been incredible. Such a thing is straight up impossible, I think. I think even as a cat, I would like to have the hat of the alchemist. We found a bookshop, and there's nothing to see there. It has a manual of hexes, but that's potentially the most useless manual in the whole game, so I don't particularly care. We have enough money for the Dragon Blood Talisman, but I'm gonna hold on because I may find it, and it's not the cheapest thing. So spending that much money on something that I don't immediately need, only for it to spawn immediately after I bought it, would be painful. Yeah, and I don't need to deal with that kind of negativity right now. 2 turns of melee was enough for me to kill Azrael. Yep, literally 2 turns of melee. Fantastic. This is a pretty great run so far. when I have statue form or when I have dragon form rather, it's gonna be great because I don't need to fear the lack of resistance to electricity or poison resistance from being a dragon. Also, I have two sources of willpower, so I would be losing one. It's not ideal to lose one, but it is also not terrible. Um, Okay, the D15 with the zombies. But the thing here is that I am strong enough that the zombies are not so much of a concern. I suspect that I killed some Juggernaut and Caustic Shrike zombies because that's the kind of thing that tends to spawn in this vault, and I didn't even notice it because my character is that powerful. So yeah, this is fantastic. I would say that it's probably busted, so you might as well get the chance to play a couple of runs of Troll Transmuter with statue form, or well, not Transmuter, Shapeshifter, now that you can, before it inevitably gets nerfed for being too good. I am curious about doing Snake with this. I have, after all, a ton of armor class, fire resistance, and poison resistance. And the immediate first thing that we see is a Guardian Serpent. I think Guardian Serpents are one of the worst enemies in the game. Like, as in, they literally shouldn't exist because of what they represent and what they do. And the only reason why I'm here today is because I am in statue form. If I was not in statue form, I wouldn't really want to do this. Um, yeah, with how common Guardian Serpents are nowadays. Something like someone made a change to Guardian Serpents because they used to be extremely rare here and now they're pretty common. The run before this one, or the last time that I went here, I got I got 13 Guardian Serpents in a normal run through of Snake, and I think that's pretty bad. Guardian Serpents are strong enough to force you to use consumables, so to see 13 of them means goodbye consumables pretty much on a character that's not incredibly powerful like this one. This one is definitely not a representation of the average character. Man, plus 10 plate with regen. I sure wish I could put that on, because that's a pretty beast item. Mm. Ringmail of willpower. 5% chance to paralyze me. You don't have poison resistance, however, and I have Curare. So unfortunately for you, I'm gonna throw a net at you, and then I'm gonna throw Curare at you. And then I'm gonna throw a rock and another one and another one and another one. And we lose the net, but Rupert dies. We also lose the Curare dart. It's okay. Rupert had a Maw talisman. Mm. But as I already said, like the window in the game for that item to be useful is um, you know, too too short. Yeah. For that reason, I think it should be a starting item, so that it's not very difficult to see it being used. Mm. Anyway, I killed Isul while I was talking about that. Isul was extremely easy to deal with today. And Isul dropped a Serpent talisman, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if Isul always has a chance to drop that um, or what's up with that. The unique that I'm most excited to find, however, is Roxanne, because Roxanne used to always drop a book with statue form. It was a guaranteed thing that Roxanne had, and I don't know how it works nowadays. I haven't really read the patch notes for whatever Roxanne got in compensation, but I am interested. Anyway, this is kind of scary, Jorgrun. File of Lots. I wonder if I can silence Jorgrun for long enough to on statue form here. I could also use a scroll of silence, but I'm just gonna tap Jorgrun. Wow, okay, 2 punches. Who needs to on statue form versus the LRD monster when you can just two-shot the LRD monster? Um, gonna Hero Finesse Bashnia. Yep, I respect Vashni a bit more than I respect Jorgrun. This is a pretty ideal position because I found them in a corridor. So, like, sure they're hitting me, but they're not hitting me all at the same time. They have Portal Projectile, but they don't do it all the time. Okay, we killed Bashnia. Bashnia had a Vampiric Axe, so that was pretty scary. Vampiric War Axe. For a second, I thought that I was not gonna be able to win, but yeah, I did well to buff. Definitely buffing versus Bashnia Band is the correct thing to do. And I would say that that encounter, the Bashnia encounter, was a really good indicator of the power level of this character. Very few characters can do what I just did to Bashnia, fight the whole band at the same time and emerge victorious. Okay, Guardian Serpents are still as despicable as always. And considering that I am pretty much in perma statue form, there's not really a lot that can be done when it comes to repositioning or running away from them, unless I want to use consumables, and I really do not want to do that. Not for a normal monster that can spawn in abundance here. Okay, beautiful. Line of sight management. I maneuvered in such a way that the monsters were gonna come close to me. Unfortunately, they did. Part of learning how to play Crow is learning how to manipulate monsters so they do what you want them to do. Yep. If you don't learn how to do that, the game becomes very the game is very difficult until you learn how to do that. Haven't found a lot of Guardian Serpents today. That's a nice thing. I wonder what's up with that game where I found 13. This time I found 2, and that I consider to be a healthy amount of Guardian Serpents to find. I think that I would still prefer them to not exist, but 2 is fine. Look at that. That guy has a million armor class, about 50, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I bet that I could kill it if I get good enough hits. I'm not gonna count on that. Yeah, and since I don't have any way to ignore armor class, it's for the best that I do not mess with that guy. Unless I'm really, really starved for the possibility of that Randart ring in the vault to, like, to save my run. And I don't think that we will ever be in that spot, fortunately. I'm gonna read Fear because there's too many monsters that can constrict surrounding me. You know, Guardian Serpent things. So I just went for the Fear, dispersed them, and now they are in a much more manageable position. It turns out that having immunity to poison is a very nice thing to see here. Once again, Guardian Serpents. Dude, I hate Guardian Serpents. Guardian Serpents are really one of the most toxic monsters that Crawl has to offer. This time I'm gonna read teleport because I have a lot of teleports and I don't really have a lot of fears. And blinking is precious. You don't just use blinking in a situation like that when you can use something else. Hello, what do talismans do? Talismans are reworked form spells. So form spells are not really in the game anymore. They were turned into items. Like for example, this serpent talisman turns me into an anaconda. I haven't used it. As you can see, it's a very question mark shaped anaconda, but it is still an anaconda, despite what the tile would lead you to believe. And I haven't really been using this because I have the statue form talisman. This is just a statue form. It gives me 130% HP, pretty much the same as a statue form. Yeah, I like how if you inspect the item, it tells you all the defense and offense that you get from the spell. It's pretty nice. Norm combat base damage 12 plus my claws plus 50% melee damage. So yeah, it's a pretty crazy good thing to have. I never really played a troll with statue form until today, and I have to tell you, it is as wonderful as you would think it is. So I can recommend it to everyone. I consider this to be pretty crazy strong, and because of that, and because I'm having such a good time with it, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't stay in the game the way that it is right now for a very long time. So might as well take the chance and play it like this now that you can, before it is no longer playable as it is right now. Okay, this bolt has all the Guardian Serpents. I hate the Guardian Serpents. I consider the effect of them, like, surrounding you with enemies is such a despicable spell. Like, it is truly messed up. Um, Once again, if I was not in statue form, I wouldn't have been able to survive the first encirclement. And I do have to notate that getting encircled was pretty much the first thing that happened to me when I entered Snake. So yeah, it wouldn't have been a fun run. Oh, I accidentally overtrained on armed combat. That's gonna be enough on armed combat for me then. I'll train it to 22. Yeah, 22 eventually, but for now I'll keep it at 20. Um, we're gonna get 15 fighting, and after that I think we might get more shapeshifting. I could win with statue form only. I things are going very, very well, but I would still like to train a bit more, I think. Yeah, to train unarmed combat a bit more is what I'm trying to say. And to train shapeshifting a bit more too. I don't need to train it beyond 15, but training it beyond 15 gives me more armor class. Another thing that I was thinking of getting is shields, since after all I do have a tower shield. This place can place better tower shields, but surprisingly non-generators. Like the only one that I have is the one that I got from who had this tower shield? A human on D13. Okay, cool. Yeah, Snake is known for placing high quality shields, and that didn't happen today. It's okay, I suppose. So yeah, let's look up the description for Isul. Because Isul dropped. Oh yeah, look at that. She seems to make up for her failure by protecting the only treasure the villains overlooked. A single precious talisman. So Isul always drops the Anaconda talisman. That's cool. I think it's a nice thing to add to Isul. Makes it more interesting of a unique. So we have a rune now. Should I do elf? I think so. Like, I think that I check all the marks for doing elf. I have a way to deal with dancing weapons. I have a way to deal with elves. I have resistance to electricity, willpower, fire resistance. Yeah, I think that I can do elf. Let's see how it goes. I hope that I do not get punished for my immense hubris in daring to go here. By the way, I didn't buy the dragon form talisman because I suspected that I was gonna find it, and I still haven't found it. I think that, like, I really don't feel the need to use it yet. But after elf, I'm gonna start thinking about buying that thing. More rocks. Another thing that I could train for that I haven't really been training for is rocks. I wonder what's the correct thing to do, really. Training talismans at this point is more of a defensive thing than anything. Do I need more defense? Maybe I do need more defense. Oh, hold on. That's a good hat. Oh, never mind. It gives minus willpower. It was so close to greatness. It might still be worth using. I'm gonna keep it around in case I find a cool item that gives me willpower. Or I need something for a second peep of fire resistance for SOT. That is also a possibility. Transformations aren't affected by intelligence, right? So statue form and chase weaker now. It is not so much weaker. Like, it is weaker for sure. because it doesn't scale with intelligence, because it doesn't get spell power from intelligence, only the shape-shifting skill. But the difference is that, or the thing is that Chase still gives you a ton of strength and a ton of dexterity. So you do hit really, really hard with your statue form, and you are kind of dodgy as well if you choose to train dexterity. If you choose to train dodging, so it's not as bad, but it is slightly weaker than before. On the other hand, everything else is slightly stronger, so I will take that trade. Mm. Yeah, it's also not like the intelligence goes to waste because, like, right now I may have the form, but I don't have manifold assault, and I like the quintessential combination of form plus manifold assault. It's still in the game. It's just that it's not gonna be like getting the form and getting manifold do not really overlap with each other with spellcasting the way that it used to be. Um, so yeah, it's a slightly pricier to go for that kind of thing now. Something that I'm not really interested in doing with this troll because they may be okay at using talismans, but they're definitely still pretty terrible at using spells. Um, so yeah, not particularly interested. Short bow, sling, triple crossbow, and short bow. Okay, we should not be fighting those guys in that arena. Finding a dancing triple crossbow is a pretty wonderful thing because the Hollow Blades does not have dancing launchers. So finding a triple crossbow from the Hollow Blades is a very difficult thing to achieve. Nothing that particularly matters to my character, of course, but other characters that may want to use launchers are definitely going to be happy or dead if they find the dancing triple crossbow. Uh, Whoa, I'm carrying 2 potions of experience. I'll use those the moment that I hit experience level 19, or 18 rather. So we go from 17 to 20 essentially. It's gonna be fun. You know what I want to play next? I want to play Merfolk Shapeshifter next. That like if it's going this well with a species with -2, I wonder how good it's gonna be with a Merfolk. It better be great. Okay. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 40 damage from Master Archer doing Master Archer things. Okay, this might be the first real threat that this character faces. I think that I'm gonna use Fogu. That's a pretty good scroll. Fogu. Just gain some ground on these guys. Throw things in that direction. Maybe Hero Finesse. Yeah, Hero Finesse makes sense. Wow, one shot the Master Archer. Throw things in that direction. I'm gonna continue throwing rocks. I'll throw jabs in a bit, but I'll throw a bit of rocks for now. Haven't killed anything. I suspect that I'm not really hitting monsters. Where's my jabs? Okay. So I was hitting them, but they were not dying. Okay. Level 18. Time to drink some potions of experience. Hadn't even thought about it because I haven't really been using it a lot. But Hero is Pretty great. I did mention it at the very beginning of the run. Hero is pretty good for unarmed combat characters, even better than it would normally be. Um, like I just mentioned it because I pressed the button, or like I drank the potions of experience, and I got I saw that I had 25 on armed combat, and I was like, if I train it to 22, which is not really beyond my reach, I can get 27 on armed combat at will, thanks to Okawaru, which I have not really been using a lot of. I have not really been using a lot of Okawaru, but the few times that I have gone for using Okawaru stuff, it really has performed. So yeah, things are going very well for this character. Is it time for me to get a shield though? I mean, I am carrying a tower shield, and I suspect that I'm about to see better shields because, like, if it's not here, it's gonna be in bolts that I see a better shield. Not gonna lie, the Master Archer was a bit intimidating, but it's a good thing to see that I'm powerful enough to beat them in melee if I'm at full HP, with them only dealing 1/3 of my HP in damage. Yeah, I'm glad that these changes to forms were finally enacted. I feel like people have been talking about forms being permanent for a while. Um, and from all the possible implementations of that, I think this one is the best, where it is very similar to putting on an amulet in the sense that you cannot really switch between combats, but it is not permanent, you know, because some other people were proposing that it could be permanent to switch into a form, and I didn't really like that idea. Well, been finding a lot of sources of resistance to electricity, including statue form. Statue form is also a source of resistance to electricity. Okay, so I did this, and I don't think I found a single talisman in the vault. It's fine, I suppose. Yeah, there's not really any issues with that. We're okay. We have not found the storm form talisman. I'm pretty sure there is a storm form talisman. I also didn't find the dragon form talisman. Mm. I have 2 intelligence. What's up with that? That's kind of scary. I'm about to level up to 21. If I really am bothered by having 2 intelligence, I could always level up intelligence in the next level up. I could also buy some potions of mutation that I have access to right here to, you know, potentially give myself 0 stat, but ideally that's not gonna happen. Okay, so I pretty much have no mutations now. Let's continue playing. Oh, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I was about to complain about the form body because it's one of my least favorite mutations, but I am in permanent statue form, so it doesn't matter at all. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the 3 intelligence once again, but I do like the increased dexterity for increased accuracy. Haven't really run into many accuracy problems with this character. I wonder why that is. It may be that I do miss some stuff, but whenever I hit them, like there's not a lot of room for variance because, like, even though I'm missing a good amount, I still just kill things whenever I do hit them. That is for sure something that has been happening. So it might be that. Do I want to do shoals immediately? I think for shoals having dragon form would be okay, but I would really like to have a source of cold resistance because I don't really want to do shoals without with weakness to cold, and dragon form has weakness to cold. Let me take a closer look at this bolt. It's a very weird placement for it. Weapon boutique, and some blood and weapons outside. Human corpse. Yeah, the frost cards are scary because we don't have the resistance. Those are the guys that can deal the most damage to me. Most other monsters are not really gonna be a big issue. As long as I fight them in a reasonable way, of course. Running towards Yactors is not the most reasonable thing to do. But since it was not a Yactor captain, I figured that it was okay. Also, there was a corridor, so there was that too. Donald, I want Donald's shield. Okay, I'm gonna put it on. Slightly easier to use than a tower shield, and it does have reflection, so yeah, bring it on. Gotta be careful with that, because I cannot really run away from the slime creatures. Okay. Lots of shops in this Bolts one. No complaining about the shops, I really do like them. Kinda crazy that I had 2 potions of experience before finding a potion of mana. I have very little interest when it comes to potions of mana. There's not really a lot of situations where I'm gonna need to have them until much later in the game, like until SOT. I could see myself wanting to use a potion of mana in SOT because of ghost mods preventing me from using hero or something, but that's about it. And we are not really in that position yet, so I can wait. The wizard explodes. Such a traditional crawl message. Okay, yeah. I am glad that I decided to try troll first, because this has been a pretty funny experience so far. I did get pretty lucky. I think that if you find a statue form amulet as a troll, you are now a talismancer. I really like about talismancers the fact that it's not so difficult to go into the playstyle, because most other playstyles, most other things that you can do in crawl, not only require the experience commitment, but also a stat commitment. Like if you go for swords, for example, you want dexterity. If you go for heavy armor, you're gonna want some strength at least to mitigate the armor penalties. Or not entirely mitigate, but like make them slightly more tolerable. With shapeshifting, since it's not really associated to any stat, it's much more usable. I guess it is kind of associated to strength, because the strength scales on arms combat damage, but it's not even that. Like if you don't want to use a strength, you can always go for statue form, swords dexterity, which is something that I don't think I've ever done, and I'm sure that it will work. I need another potion of mutation. Yeah, I have stat rot, and I would prefer not to have that. I mean, I've spent so much money on potions of mutation. Okay, Shoutitis is completely okay. It's not really an issue. I'm already making a lot of noise as it is. I assume that there's some characters where Shoutitis would be completely crippling, but I do not really play those kinds of characters. Yeah, so far this has been going very, very well. Frederick the Flawless comes into view. What do you have? Plate and anti-magic broadaxe. You also have Iron Shot and a dude that will not hesitate to copy your Iron Shot, which is kind of scary. I think that I'm gonna go for Annette. Normally I would go for Curare, but Frederick has poison resistance today. Oh, come on. It's kind of lame. I'm gonna go for Hero Finesse. Mm, Bolt of Cold hits you. Okay, this is getting very quickly very dangerous for me. I might be interested in just skedaddling away from this one. Mm. Man, Frederick is not taking any damage from my jabs, and I'm not even throwing normal jabs. I'm throwing silver jabs. I would obviously love to throw rocks, but there's a lot of dudes between me and Frederick. And I want to get rid of Frederick because getting rid of Frederick means getting rid of the summoner or the summon. Um, and the summon is pretty scary. It turns out that the greatest threat of the summon was not the Iron Shot, it was the Bolt spell. That really, really hurt when it did hit me. Okay, there we go. Found the Dragon Blood Talisman. I told you that it was only a matter of time until I found it. Um, I don't know if it is the case for you or for everyone playing console, which might be like one other person watching this. But for me, the talismans look like squares. Like it tried to load an icon and it didn't really manage to do it for one reason or another. Um, but I was thinking about that, and I assumed from the very beginning of the game that it might be just like a placeholder thing. But I just realized that it kind of does look like a talisman, like the square thingy. In fact, like I'm just gonna drop a talisman right now, and you're gonna see it on the floor, and you are most likely going to agree with me that it probably represents a talisman quite well. This glyph. So it's probably just gonna stay like that, and I like it. It looks pretty cool. They're question marks in tiles. Yeah, in tiles they're question marks for now. They still haven't made. No one has made tiles for the talismans in tiles. Yep. Troll with statue form. What can I say? This is exactly as wonderful as it should be. Um, hmm. I might want to hero finesse this one. I feel free doing hero finesse because I'm doing it for very little fights. So it's not like I am overusing my Okawaru piety or anything. It's not like I'm gonna run out of piety before SOT. Man, this is gonna be a fast character one way or another. We are at 1 hour and a half, and I already did Elf. Um, we found a manual of long blades that I'm not particularly interested in making use of. Certainly not with 16 dexterity and 34 strength. Get rid of the Frost Heart, come on. Actually hit the Frost Heart. This guy has a shield. Oh no, he doesn't have a shield. I guess that I'm just not... Wow, I hit it but dealt no damage one time. Unusual, considering how hard I hit. Okay, what am I even fighting against? A wizard wielding something of freezing, yeah. Okay. I was a bit confused because I saw the message something hits you, something freezes you. And then I saw the fireballs and the blinking. But yeah, wizard with a weapon of freezing made a lot of sense. Mm. Okay. I have to say that it's quite enjoyable to fight a bunch of Yoctors in the open with reflection and actually beat them. Yeah. Um, so that's a really nice thing that this character has experienced. By the way, I got into a pretty bad fight there. Teleporting away was the correct thing to do for sure. I decided to teleport when I saw that like in like 2 turns I took so much damage. 23, 32, 33. That was well before the 33. I actually had already reached teleport, right? How was it? Um, oh yeah, it was a recall from a convoker. Yeah, pretty much the recall from the convoker was the thing that made me teleport there. I'm seeing horror or something. You guys think that this character can do Bolts 5? Because I do think that this character can do Bolts 5 without a lot of complications. Maybe not immediately. I think that the correct thing to do with this character is probably to go do depths and, exhaust all my other sources of experience before actually going for Bolts 5. But I think that I'm going to be able to do it without a lot of complications when the time comes to actually want to do it. Um, I still want a source of cold resistance. It may not look like a lot, but the only situations where I have run into danger through danger, like situations where I have taken a lot of damage, or situations I have um, where I have been fighting monsters that hit me with cold damage. Most other monsters are not really that much of an issue, but like here you can see Tengu River enters the screen and I start to take a lot of damage. Not quite related to the Tengu River, surprisingly. Okay. Hmm. This is kinda not great. I'm gonna read the scroll of blinking to play it safe because I do feel that I could reasonably die from that position if I was to read only teleport. So blinking first, and I do have a lot of blinking, so blinking is fine in that situation. I just had to be careful not to get into that kind of situation constantly, because if that kind of thing happens, I'm gonna die. Okay, Jody, I'm going to hero finesse you. And Crystal Spear for 29. If I drop below like 150, I would read Silence, but that didn't come to happen. Um, yeah, I would have done it instantly, but I figured that it was worth trying to fight Jody only with Hero Finesse. And I'm glad that I did because it went very well. Okay, so I got a book of changes and it gave me Wereblood. I don't know if that's the only spell that it gives now. It gives Wereblood and Irradiate. Student's primer to the magic arts of transmutations. Contrary to common wisdom, the book has no ability to move, but it does have a nasty habit of disguising itself as other nearby objects. And that's pretty funny. Book of changes, changing into a mimic. Flavor text in crawl can be pretty funny. How to stealth, I guess it's slightly better than what I have. Okay, convoker convoked. Unfortunately for you all, I have a corridor. Okay, that went very well. And yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do something else. And what is going to be something else this time? Oh wow, I got to 16 shields. I'm gonna continue training it. I'm gonna go to 18. And after that, I'm gonna get 23 fighting. Yeah, sounds like a good number. I might want to get more throwing too. After all, I only have 10. 20 throwing might be where it's at. And I think that I will not train more shapeshifting. Oh, maybe for shoals. I did say that I wanted dragon form for shoals. I still haven't gotten my cold resistance, and I'm not doing shoals with weakness to cold. That's begging for a couple of merfolks to get lucky with throw icicle rolls and just like kill me in 2 turns. And I don't want to put myself in that position. So we're going to go do depths now. Um, things are going pretty well. Very happy about how this character has been going. We got ice scales, but unfortunately ice scales do not really help me a lot when it comes to having cold resistance. So we leave them on the floor. Amulet of the Acrobat. Someone in my YouTube recently said that Amulet of the Acrobat was a worthless item. And while it may not be the item that I use most, I would say that Guardian Spirit is much more of a worthless item. Because I tend to stay very far away from the species that could actually make use of Guardian Spirits. Yeah, like cats and Spriggans. Um, Also, I like my mana to be used for casting spells that kill things, not for protecting my HP and reducing itself so that I cannot use it to kill things and then I die to the things that I would have been able to easily survive if I had the mana. Yeah, Guardian Spirit could disappear from the game and it wouldn't really be an issue for me. I wouldn't really notice. On the other hand, Acrobat is pretty useful at times. Like there's some synergy with Acrobat and the spells that are channel based. Most noticeably, Searing Ray. Flame Burst also works with it, and of course MCC. So those spells, like if you're mainly using those spells, Acrobat is a pretty good thing to have. Immolation for this undead room. No, come on, that's I feel scammed. The Shadow Dragon died, revived, and um, lost the inner flame. I was expecting the explosions to happen, but they didn't really happen. What was that? Was that like oh, it must have been a vampire knight. Those guys do tend to go invisible. Okay, 18 shields. Now let's get fighting, as I mentioned earlier, and I think that after that we're gonna get more throwing, as I mentioned as well. That went well. Gotta be careful with any Necosec that I encounter or anything with Brain Thief. I think that on a really unlucky roll, I could also get Brainlessness from a Sut Trap or something like that. So yeah, but there's not really anything that I can do about that one other than not be in the vicinity of Sut Traps. Lots of amulets of mana regen. They don't really do anything for me, so I am going to leave them right on the floor. Okawaru can give auxiliary or additional armor slots. Additional armor slot items is what I'm trying to say. So like hats and hats and hats. And I mentioned pretty much only hats because that's the only thing that I really have. And I have gotten nothing but body armor. Kind of lame. Yeah, this has been a pretty great run so far. Juggernaut, kinda spooky. Gonna curate it. It misses. Juggernaut hits you for 11. Cool. Okay. Hero. Finesse? Yeah, sure. Finesse. Juggernaut hits you but does no damage. Okay. Man, that was 5 exclamation marks. Your damage rating with unarmed combat is about 92. That is then further multiplied by 50%. That is not shown there. But statue form deals 50% more melee damage with whatever melee you choose to do. Not only unarmed combat. So it's a pretty great thing to have. Yeah, that was kind of fantastic. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 120 damage. That was not in one turn, it was across 2 turns. The message didn't print in the previous turn, and I did take 1,000,000 damage the previous turn. Regardless, I think that this situation didn't turn necessarily in my favor, so let's blink away from this one. You cannot kill me from 81 HP with 36 armor class with your Bolt of Cold. Yeah, it deals max 75. It could still kill me with 2 Bolts of Cold, but is that really gonna happen? I don't think so. Oh, I want to curare the Frost Giant, actually. Yeah, okay, it's pretty hurt. I think that I'm gonna kill it very easily, but I will go for Fogo now. Open the door, step over here, throw a rock. Okay, things are fine. I can beat these guys. Yeah, these guys are not really that much of an issue. Should not give them free turns, however. I'm accidentally giving them free turns. Okay, Storm Dragon. Yeah, sure. I have resistance and 36 armor class, so it was not gonna beat me. Not afraid of that guy, not even for a second. I have a lot of scrolls of enchant armor. It's almost as if the game detected that I have been in statue form pretty much since I decided to give it a try. Like it is kind of magical how good statue form is for this kind of character. I suspect that other forms are not gonna be as good as the statue form has been for this character. But yeah, but you know how it is with a troll. You know the drill. They don't really have that much in the way of armor. Like they cannot really use a lot of armor. So something like statue form is invaluable. Oh, I am tempted. I'm so interested in playing a Nogger Shapeshifter now. Like pretty much doing the same thing, this same thing, but with a giant spike club instead of unarmed combat. I feel like that's gonna be very fun. I bet this bolt will place a cool fighty item. Or an entrance to hell, maybe. Oh no, Salamander Hide. Okay, Salamander Hide is a cool fighty armor. Cool fighty item. Not something that I can use, unfortunately. Okay, I think this might be the Wislav. Oh, it's not. It's a treasure trove. 4 Scrolls of Fear. I happen to have 4 exactly, so I think that's a more reasonable cost to pay than any amount of Scrolls of Blinking. Yeah, I am okay with paying 4 Scrolls of Fear. Okay, would you kindly stop striking me, Mr. Spriggan? Ice Blast Stone. That's actually kind of scary. I don't have the resistance, you know? Cannot really deal with that. I don't really tend to respect monsters that hit me for my weakness, but I think that it makes a lot of sense to respect the monster that can only attack you with your weakness. Just like Deep Troll Earth Mages while I'm in statue form. That was a good reason to not be in statue form here, by the way. Deep Troll Earth Mages. Okay, gonna try to kill the... Oh, maybe hero here. Yeah, not hero finesse, only hero. Feels nice that hero is like it's been it's reasonably late into the game. Like it's been a while into the playthrough, and hero is still pretty okay. You know that's why I like Okawaru, but I have mentioned that repeatedly. Okay, the Frostbound Tome is the weakest one because it's very easy to manipulate it into not being able to deal damage to you with your spells. Something that the developers don't consider to be an issue, like they consider to be counterplay for the monster. I think that the monster should be immune to its own explosions and maybe have them deal more damage or less damage to the player to compensate for that. Okay. Bodies again. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Hello, bodies. I think I still haven't even fully healed from fighting bodies in the first place. No, I kinda did heal to completion. But yeah, it's very funny how Notice bodies, killed bodies fall into a shaft. Notice bodies, killed bodies. Um, yeah, okay. I still want to go up because I don't want to miss the Wizlav. Because the Wizlav could have the Heart of the Alchemist for me, and the Heart of the Alchemist would completely change my character. Um, in a very good way, I have to say. Because sometimes things change your character, but not in a very good way. Okay, I don't know how I didn't spot these bolts. It's actually very obvious now that I take a look at it. Let's go in. Dorocloge's Tomb. This one is pretty difficult. Yeah, pretty difficult and pretty dangerous. Takes forever to open up too. I think that the safest thing to do is to just, yeah, just go at it at my own pace. Okay, I have a million regions, so I don't have to worry about. They're about to open. Yep. The entombed are set free. But I already killed the royal mummy, which was the main thing that I wanted to get rid of. There's more monsters here. I wouldn't even be surprised if there were more royal mummies. Yeah, mummy priests. This one is pretty difficult. But I am doing it only because I have statue form. If without statue form, the torment is too dangerous to really deal with at this point in the game. It's only really feasible to do parts of the game that are full of torment once you're not really taking a lot of damage from other sources. Um, Imagine Tomb, but you have no armor class, so every mummy actually has a chance to deal significant amounts of melee damage to you. It would be very unbearable. Fortunately, we don't have that issue today. Nope. We have a 36 armor class. And Troll with 36 armor class pre-lair is kinda really strong. Was it actually pre-lair? It was not pre-lair. It was pre-lair runes, which made the whole thing very great. Okay, we didn't really get anything from doing this, unless I picked up anything interesting. Hold on a second, I just... dungeon sprint modes. For a second I misread it as dungeon sprint mobs. I find it pretty funny that it says that it's supposed to be a coffee break style of gameplay, but still, sprints can take you about 2 hours or so. And a normal playthrough, well, it's been 2 hours and I am well on my way to finishing it. So yeah. Okay, more rocks. Sky beasts and a storm dragon, interesting. What's up with that? Is that like a temple to Kazlal or something? Empty arch of ancient stone? Weird. Weird bolts. Weird bolts. Two potions of haste on the floor. Very lucky because I only had 5. Yeah, haste is not as important with Okawaru because the main offensive part of haste is already taken care of by me being a worshipper of Okawaru and having access to finesse. But it's still a pretty strong defensive option to have access to for mobility and stuff. So it's a bit of a different build than what I'm doing right now, but I think it would be interesting to go for shapeshifting and get death form as a troll. I don't think death form melts your armor as a troll, so you would be able to wear gold scales but still be a lich or a death, whatever it is, death form. And gold scales are pretty good. That's the only reason why I'm mentioning it. I don't think that it would be very good until super late into the game, but we're already super late into the game, so you could go for I don't know, doing what I have been doing, except maybe for shields and throwing, which have consumed some of my experience, and put that experience into shapeshifting maybe. Try to go for that form. I think that you need 23 skill for that form. Doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, I'm gonna try it at some point. Not right now. Not right now. Oh, a bazaar. That's nice. Yeah, we have some bolts to check. I'm going to go into the treasure trove first because the treasure trove may have some items that I otherwise would be inclined to buy from a bazaar um, or something along those lines. So we drop the potions and we go into the treasure trove. Manual of Unarmed Combat, Manual of Evocations. Pretty nice items so far. Um, Revelation, Vulnerability, Immolation. Immolation is great. Vulnerability is irrelevant. We can drop those. No one cares about those. Or no one that is streaming in this channel, I suppose, cares about those. And Torment. Torment is okay. I could use it. I don't really take that much damage from Torment being a statue. Okay, so low value consumable oriented treasure trove. I think that I would have been better with my Scrolls of Fear, even taking into account that it gave me a manual of unarmed combat. At this point in the game, it's not really that impactful. I'm still gonna train for it, but it's not really that impactful. I want 22 unarmed combat, but I'm gonna train it until the manual finishes. If I can get it to 23 with the manual, it would be nice, though I do not think that it's gonna happen because training skills, like when they're that high, is very expensive. So, we are done with depths as far as I am aware. Let's go into the trove or into the bazaar. Yeah, I have 3,500 gold. Talisman of Death for 909 gold. I might buy that. Nothing there. Nothing there. Crown of Dairobe I am kind of interested in the crown. It's giving me one more. It gives me one more armor class and a bit of intelligence to not get killed by lack of intelligence. Probably gonna buy it. Okay, yeah. From what I have seen, I am interested in buying this, and I'm interested in buying the talisman. Interesting that it's considered to be jewelry, the talisman. You would think that a talisman would be maybe it could take off the amulet slot, but I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it taking up the amulet slot because I like my amulets, especially Amulet of Regen, which I have been using ever since I acquired it. When did I acquire it? On D10. Yeah, I should have acquired it sooner. I was holding on to it for the money, but Regen is just too good. Cannot really pass up on Regen. Okay, did buy my Talisman of Death. How does this work? Insufficient skill lowers this form's max HP. HP 40%? Yeah, funny thing. Okay, I want to use it. I am not going to use it like for the entirety of the game, but I want to use it just to see how it is. Okay, we go from 323 HP to 99 HP, and we are a Z, I suppose. It kind of looks like an ancient champion. You're an undying horror. Your damage rating with unarmed combat is about 73, and you have drain melee. Pretty cool. Only way to get drain or like branded melee with unarmed combat is to do something like this. Your max health is decreased since you lack skill for your form. Cool. Drain slow and weaken victims. Pretty cool. And yeah, it doesn't melt your body armor, so imagine like a lot of extra shape shifting, so you get to 21 and gold scales with a character like this one. It would be so powerful. You would be afraid of things with the spell on that, but there's very little of that in SOT. I think it's pretty cool that you actually can use mummy form, or well, the replacement for mummy form in a 3-rune game, and that it's actually decidable and useful to do it because of the ability that it has. Siphon Essence. It costs 20 mana. As you can see, it is also a question mark, and it violently draws upon the vital essence of nearby foes, halving their remaining life and using it to heal the user. Man, it's torment, but it heals you. Transmutation's skill increases the healing received. Transmutations. That's not right. That I gotta bug report that. It's gotta be shape shifting. I highly doubt that it's transmutations. Um, okay. It has been reported by putting it on the Discord and pinging a dev. I guess that like the proper way to report things is to use GitHub. Um, But since I really only notice these kinds of things while I'm streaming, like I'm not gonna stop my stream to fill a GitHub report every time that I notice some wacky stuff like that. Fortunately, it doesn't really happen that frequently anyway. Let's go back to being a statue because I like being a statue. Living statue of rough stone, of granite. I guess that it could say granite now, since it's granite form, or granite talisman. Um, that was okay. But the crown, let's put it on. Let's drop this hat of stealth. Um, yeah, I spent a lot of money for one armor class and a little bit of extra intelligence so that I do not get destroyed by anything that wishes to drain my intelligence. It's fine. I am thinking of taking off the Ring of Evasion, replacing it with a Ring of Cold Resistance. Um, and I do have Rings of Cold Resistance. Yeah, I have one on Elf 3, which I didn't pick up. Yeah, we are gonna go back to Elf 3. We're gonna pick that up. We're gonna go do Shoals, and then I guess we're gonna get a third room from somewhere. Um, I don't think that Slime would be the ideal third rune for this character. Maybe if I had committed and gone for Death Form, I could use Siphon Strength or Siphon Essence to destroy the Royal Jelly, but I didn't do that. Mm, yeah, maybe on a different character, but not on this one. Anyway, we finally have a pip of cold resistance. This makes me feel like an absolute juggernaut, and I have to maybe, instead of training an armed combat, maybe we want a little bit more shape shifting. Maybe we want 17 so that I can use Dragon Form with no HP penalty. It's 298 HP. Is that really gonna be bad? I mean, I guess it is going to be bad. Yeah, it's gonna be bad, but I hope that it's not really that terrible. Anyway, I want this because it gives me perma flight, and I think the slowness of statue form might come into play in there in shoals. Um, I can try a bit, and if it's bad, I can always go back to being a statue, and I can put on um, some like ring of flying or so. Okay, wow, look at that. There's not really that many monsters, and I took so much damage. My attack delay is about 0.6. My damage rating with an armed combat is about 141. Base 38 plus 20 on armed combat. Base 38. Is that correct? Because the Dragon Blood Talisman says offense. Unarmed combat base damage 32. Oh, it's 32 plus claws. So it is 38. Huh. at 15 skill. Okay, I'm not gonna complain. Does that mean that it's a straight buff to now get 27 shape shifting? You get 40 base damage plus claws, so 46. It doesn't sound terrible. Certainly not gonna complain about that. Oh no 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 no! We don't want to do that. We want to breathe fire. Yep. F for fire, after all. You cannot throw stuff in dragon form. I have known that, but it's not something that comes into play very often, considering that I am never really piloting a character that happens to have access to both good throwing and a form. Like that has never happened before to me. So it's nothing really new, but it's more like moving things around so that new combinations of things that you can do with your characters are possible, which is pretty fantastic. And I am extremely in approval of this. I want to see that kind of thing happen more with different stuff. Um, if possible at all, and if decidable, of course. But at least I do decide it. I wish the Blast of Fire had a little bit of extra range. Okay, the Merfolk went for the Throw Icicle and it hit me for 51. The Shard Device hits you. The Shard Device hits you. You take 51 damage. Yeah, pretty much. 51 damage from a Throw Icicle. Rough. As long as it doesn't happen very frequently, however, we're fine. But yeah, being exposed to that with a bunch of or with weakness to cold, it would have been a whole nother thing. With no resistance and no weakness, it's manageable. I'm still only gonna be in this form for this specific part of the game, I think. For Sota, I would like to be in statue form because that is really good. Yeah, of all the change, like I think this may have been my most favorite change of all of Crawl since Cinder Acolyte was introduced to the game. I was gonna say Jin, but no, Jin is a bit too old at this point. It's been in the game for a couple of years at this point, and Cinder Acolyte is a bit more recent. And I did like that change to the game a lot. Yeah. As I said earlier, like I'm a troll and I am running around in dragon form. That was impossible to do until this change. I mean, impossible to do in any reasonable way without like completely crippling your character and making it unnecessarily difficult for you to win the game. You could do it, but it was probably not the brightest idea to do. Il Suiu proceeds to dodge all my stuff. Okay, then I hit Il Suiu for a million damage, finally, and Il Suiu dies. And I'm fighting 3 Merfolk Sirens. That's not really an issue. Small band. Why did Il Suiu not get a ton of dudes as Il Suiu normally does? Not gonna complain. Il Suiu with not that many enemies to support her made her into a pretty easy fight. She only had the Sirens, and they were not really a concern. Yeah, this is very powerful. I think that in power it is very comparable to Dark Maul because Dark Maul deals way more base damage per attack. That's always been the case. But Dragon Form, like it right now has a 0.6 attack speed, so In one swing of Dark Maul, I can hit like 3 times with Dragon Form, and I'm not even at min delay. So I would like to go into that Ice Cave because the Ice Cave could provide me with cold resistance. I think that I'm gonna on transform and I'm gonna go back to being a statue. Now that I think about it, and I don't know why I didn't think about it earlier, it's not as much of an issue for a troll to not have flying here because they don't fumble in shallow water. Yeah, in fact, they don't even move more slowly in shallow water. They're not really penalized for it. It's just that I am not really used to playing large species anymore. So I just autopiloted into that. Look at that, +7 tower shield. I am going to put it on. Yeah, and it's gonna be great. Now I have 28 shield. And I don't have reflection, but it's okay to not have reflection. Yeah, I'm replacing it for 5 strength, 2 intelligence, +7 tower shield. Pretty high quality item. Yes. Okay, so I see that there's some stairs leading straight to the portal bolt, so I'm just gonna go over here. I'm gonna keep trying. There we go. Lots of simulacra, but I have cold resistance. That's why I didn't want to be in dragon form anymore for this. Not necessarily because I thought that there was gonna be a huge band of high-level simulacra guarding the portal vault, but because of the possibility of such a thing being in there. Also, I was getting kind of destroyed by everything in dragon form. I was also destroying them in return, but I feel like I already destroyed things very well while taking less damage in statue form. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna get my 20 on armed combat. I'm really tempted to do that thing that I mentioned earlier, you know? Just go for death form and then enchant gold skills. Enchant armor. We have 7, with potentially more to be found here. Crystal plate of cold resistance. That is unfortunately completely irrelevant to my character. But yeah, I think that form has resistance to cold, like by default. So it could be useful. Manual of Shields. Manual of Shields sounds pretty good. Yeah, just because I have I just got a tower shield, so it sounds like it's gonna be good. We got a Cloak of Cold Resistance, but unfortunately that's not a good item for my character. I have a Cloak of Willpower. Unless I go for Death Form, which I think gives willpower. At least Lich Form used to do that. Let's see, let's inspect that thing. Talisman of Death. Lone Fingerbone. User also resists cold and is immune to poison, miasma, negative energy, and torment. It lost the willpower. Yeah, it lost the willpower. Okay. Manual of shapeshifting would be a good thing to have here, not gonna lie. I'm gonna train on armed combat to 22 or until the manual runs out, whichever one is higher. And then I'm gonna train shields until the manual runs out. And then I'm gonna go back to fighting. Still, as I am right now, I have a pretty good amount of HP. I have almost the same amount of HP that 27 a fighting experience level 27 troll would have. And I am definitely not close to 27 fighting or experience level 27, so This is pretty great. Have I already gotten the rune? I don't think so. I think the rune is on the other side of the level, but unfortunately I was unable to get to it. I'm just gonna dig because why not? Wow, that guy was carrying a +8 Broadaxe of Venom. That's a pretty remarkable item. Anyway, how have you all been doing? I hope that you have been doing well. Whenever I don't really have a lot to say about the character, I just default to asking that. I hope that you all have been having a good couple of days, a good weekend. If you have had good experiences with talismans, let me know. Let me know your opinion on talismans because mine has been overwhelmingly positive. But I did find the statue form talisman instantly as a troll, so that may have biased my experience very heavily. I am interested in hearing what other people have to say about talismans, how other people have been experiencing them. Maybe not all the opinions are as overwhelmingly positive as the one that I have had so far. Maybe not all experiences are like that, I mean. Okay, so I have 2 runes. I still need to get a third one. I guess my third one is going to be Volt 5 because I don't want to do shoals, or rather I don't want to do slime, and I don't want to do the abyss, so bolts 5 it is. I could maybe go for Doom with Death Form, but I suspect that's not a very wise thing to do. Immunity to Torment or not. Um, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the good old go down, read Immolation, read Torment, maybe. How likely is that to kill me? I don't think it's very likely to kill me. That is going to kill everything that's surrounding me for sure. I never use the Scrolls of Torment. Let's go for it. Oh, didn't kill a lot of Bolt Guards, but they are well, like of course it was never gonna kill a lot of Bolt Guards. Like that doesn't directly kill, but they're pretty hurt. So it only takes a little bit of a spark to kickstart this explosion festival. 22 unarmed combat, still have a little bit of manual. I'm gonna keep going until the manual runs out, or until I get to 23, I suppose. Yeah. I should probably not do that, however. I'm gonna go upstairs. Yep, that was fun. Now that I have eradicated everyone in the entrance party, I can do the rest of the level while the most dangerous monsters are attracted to the middle where a lot of noise was made. I'm gonna hero finesse this just for safety. I think that whenever in doubt, going for hero finesse is a pretty good move. I have halved willpower, so I wanted to check how likely it was for that guy to destroy me, and unfortunately the chances are pretty high. Also, I got marked. Yeah, this Phantasmal Warrior kind of ruined everything for me. If I get paralyzed here, it will be pretty bad. Okay, I got to 23 unarmed combat very quickly, I do have to say. Also ran out of manual, so we're gonna go for shields now. We're gonna get 22 shields, most likely. Okay, I'm still a statue with finesse and heroes, so it's very difficult for these guys to kill me. You have 47% chance to paralyze me. I think that this is a prime moment for Scroll Silence. Yes, there's no other alternative here. Scroll Silence. Oh wow, I one-shot that Dreadlich. Literally just punched it and it exploded. It ceased to exist. Okay, this is pretty funny. Once again, I feel like that sketch that I mentioned the other day that I streamed, where like a dude slaps a kid or something, and then everyone is like, "Why did you slap the kid?" And then he just slaps everyone that comes to complain about the dude constantly slapping previous people. It kind of feels like that to play a really, really powerful melee character. Um, we are going to go for a potion of attraction here. I think that it is the correct thing to do, to pull monsters into the silence. Maybe might would be an okay thing to have. It's not really that important. You feel like gel rip itself from your throat, but you make no sound. That's a pretty weird and unusual message. You don't really get to see it that often. What that means is that I was going to get shoutitis, but it just didn't happen because I am silenced. I think it's self-explanatory, but clarity doesn't cost me anything. At the moment that I stop being silenced, I think that I am going to re-teleport. This this torpor snail shapeshifter is kind of ruining things for everyone. Mm. Mm. I'm thinking about going for jabs here. How bad of an idea would it be? Probably not a terrible idea to actually throw some jabs. I did shows and I didn't really like. I did shows as a character that's throwing stuff, and I didn't even think about preserving my throwables, or my throwables that are being carried by the monsters. Anyway, we got rid of the guy that was slowing me, so I think that the time has come for me to re-teleport. Okay. Okay. We actually landed in a pretty great spot here. Oh man, that's not very good. I should have killed the Convoker before killing the Etin. I just was slightly afraid of the Etin's potential for great damage output. But that was a very short-sighted decision because now I have to deal with all of these ridiculous guys. And a Guardian Serpent Shapeshifter, in case things weren't already bad enough. At least no one here constricts, so I can actually corner myself. Read Fogum. Use Hero Finesse. Maybe might as well this time. No need for haste. Haste doesn't really do a lot. Haste does not stack with Hero Finesse. Okay, yeah, this works very well because when I hit monsters, they explode and they die super easily. And I tend to hit monsters quite a lot with my 16 dexterity, 27 unarmed combat, and almost 24 fighting. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, that was extremely clean. I feel very good about how that went because it was a situation where I recognize that if the character had been weaker and I had played it the same way, I probably would have died. I just chose to play it the way that I did this time because the character is strong enough to be able to take that, and it went very well. It went exactly how I wanted it to go. There were some situations right after I landed from the teleport, things could have gotten very sketchy, but it was not really the case. Like everything went as well as I could have expected. Yeah, the game just keeps bombarding me with resistance to electricity on a character that doesn't really need it. As I have said, I could get the 21 shapeshifting and gold scales. And I would be indeed losing some damage output, but it's perfectly okay. I don't think that I'm losing a lot from losing the damage output from statue form because I would be gaining quite a lot of resistances from gold scales. Yeah, and also death form is kind of really crazy, and I feel like it would be a funny thing to try. But the time for me to play the game, or rather the amount of experience that I have left in the game, might not be enough for me to go for all of those things together. I also don't know how bad it would be for my evasion if I was to do such a thing. Um, but at the very least, I wouldn't really lose anything defensively from switching away from statue form into gold scales and that form. Okay, I'm about to hit 22 shields, which is pretty great. I did want my 22 shields. It's not common for Bolts 5 to be as much of a walk in the park as it's been today. Yeah, it just goes to show how crazy strong this character is. Lots of offense, lots of defense. Statue form is a great thing to have access to. Okay, I'm gonna keep the Ring of Fire resistance on because I might need it. Wait a second, I have 3 sources of willpower, and I wanted to keep this hat because I needed 3 sources of willpower to put it on so that I do not get destroyed by hexes. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. We lose 1 armor class and 2 intelligence. We gain resistance to corrosion, which I didn't have before, and these resistances look beautiful. I don't mind losing See Invisible. I hope that it doesn't come to bite me. Okay, let's go do Sot now. Wait. Before that, enchant armor. Yeah, I gotta pick those things up. Also pick up some gold scales so I can potentially enchant them. Now I'm not going to enchant them immediately because I know this game's game. I know how it functions. If you do that immediately afterwards, you're gonna find Parkit, and Parkit will have like +9 gold scales. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until a bit later, until I actually want to put them on to enchant them. And if I'm not gonna put them on, I'm gonna enchant them before picking up the orb. Oh yeah, this is the greatest thing about the whole talismans change. I can now be in Sot in statue form and not be completely terrified against every monster with Quicksilver bolts because the monsters are gonna get rid of my statue form. That's the greatest change. Okay, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for 21 shapeshifting. Imagine getting 21 of a skill that you have -2 on as a troll that is not fighting. That is kind of insane. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Yeah, we didn't really get a lot of throwing, which is kind of a shame because I think throwing is one of the greatest things that a troll can do. But it's not the end of the world. I got a lot of large rocks. I guess that's just the kind of thing that happens when you're a worshipper of Okawaru and you're throwing rocks, but you're not throwing that many rocks that you're losing a million of them. Yeah. I also got a lot of giants, to be completely fair. So Sod 1 was literally free. I hope that's an omen of things to come. Oh, I got the acid trip bolt. Yeah, I remember this one. This one is pretty funny. I'm glad that I have resistance to corrosion because otherwise it would be very painful. Immolation, 10 of tremor stones with 0 skill. That's enough to trigger some explosions. And I can just trigger the rest by punching things. Hello, Prince Cosmo. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you around. Today I am trying talismans. So talismans are a wonderful item that allows you to be a troll and be in statue form from pretty much the beginning of the game. It's pretty strong. Yeah, so strong in fact that I suspect it's not gonna stay the way that it is for much longer. Or at least this specific talisman might be too overpowered. Yeah, I have the other higher level, or some of the other high level talismans. I have the dragon form talisman and the death form talisman, but I haven't really felt too compelled to switch away from my current statue form talisman, because after all, it is a statue form, and statue form troll is like a dream come true. Yeah, it's not only perma statue form, it is perma statue form that does not scale with intelligence. It scales with shape shifting, a new skill. Um, and you need to find the talisman on the floor, like you would find an experience evocable. Um, but yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty nice. This whole run is me explaining talismans and like trying them for the first time. Like so far, if I win, I will have 100% win rate on characters that use talismans, which is gonna be pretty funny. Um, I could always retire undefeated when it comes to using talismans, but I want to play a lot of other talisman characters because if it's this good with troll, I wanna try it with ogre. I wanna try it with merfolk. Specifically with merfolk, I wanna go for statue form, swords dexterity. I feel like that's gonna be pretty funny. Um, I wanna try it with a lot other species. Um, Yeah, funnily enough, human have -2 shapeshifting. Oh, also, the forms do not get dispelled by Quicksilver Bolt. That's so strong. That's like the greatest thing ever. In a normal situation, if I was like this in 0.30, that would have been extremely dangerous. I would have gone straight in the opposite direction with like exactly the same character. But in 0.31, I don't have to fear because one of my greatest weaknesses has been removed. It's fantastic. Yeah. And I am waiting for 21 skill. When I hit 21 skill, I'll start using death form a lot more because I also want to try that. And I have a character already. It doesn't really take me that much to do it. I just have to clear Sot because Sot will most likely have enough experience to get me to 21. And then death form plus gold scales because death form does not meld armor, doesn't meld anything. I want to try that. I might even go for a 15 rune troll like this. I think that I would like to try a different god. Hmm. 19 invocations, and I'm in SOT 4. Are my SOTs devoid of experience? Like, have I not been getting a lot of experience? I think so. Yeah, it kind of feels like me, or to me, that has been the case because there's not been many situations where I have struggled to kill things. So either the character is crazy busted, which, to be completely fair, it is kinda crazy busted, or the thought generation has been benevolent and I haven't really run into anything too nasty. Haven't seen any late game uniques too. I came here hoping for par hit or so. Ideally par hit, but I would also like to test my might versus BB, for example, or Josefina now that I have cold resistance. Um, but I haven't found anyone. Mm, Quicksilver Dragons used to be my greatest enemies, but not anymore. Yeah, okay, yeah. SOT 4 was also pretty easy, so I guess we're in SOT 5 now. Read Revelation. Take a look at the trap layout. This is pretty great. I am very much a fan of this. This is fantastic. That's gonna make things easier to deal with for sure. Okay, so far so good. Mm, One thing that I am wondering about that I did already mention is that if I end up switching into that form, my damage output will definitely drop. I am 100% sure of that. Um, the power of Suck is invoked against you. You're unaffected. What does that mean? It means that it tried to petrify me, but I'm already statue formed, so it doesn't do anything. I don't want to fight all of that here. I'm gonna hero. I'm gonna finesse as well. Yeah, just might as well punch the orb of fire. Punch the killer clown first because getting killer clowns here would be kind of inconvenient. Okay, jump into the trap. Run away. Hero Finesse again. Drop to 5 pips of Piety. I mean, for a while, for a little bit, I'm sure that I'll go back up to 6 in no time. We're gonna use a potion of resistance because I have a million of them and I have no reason not to use them. I think a scroll folk here so that the mods of Rat don't berserk everything is also a good idea. Obviously Might. Where is Might? Might statue resist hero finesse. I could also throw some silver jabs to soften up these orbs of fire. Okay, back up to 6 pips of piety. Okay, big boy damage. Hero is making me have 27 shields, so my attack speed is not compromised at all, which is pretty cool indeed. I am a big fan. Okay, I'm not marked anymore. Did someone get rid of my mark? Okay, lots of circling Orb Guardians. I'm gonna use Immolation. This feels like a moment for Immolation. And instead of using Tin of Tremorsons, I'm just gonna punch whatever is in front of me for the explosions to start happening. Okay, we got 21 shapeshifting. So after being done with this, I can go into Death Form plus Gold Scales. That's gonna be funny. I bet it's gonna be worse than this. I suspect it's gonna be worse than this. But at least it will be okay because like all this experience that I put into shapeshifting, it's very clear that I didn't actually need that experience to win the game. And it's not like it's completely lost anyway. It did give me a little bit of extra defenses for this fight. Because training shapeshifting is like training for spell power for the forms back when they were spells. It's pretty cool. Okay, oh yeah. I am done with the fight. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Evoke, Talisman of Death. I go to my normal HP, 276. Your flesh twists and warps into a mockery of life. That looks pretty good to me. And we can also put on the gold scales. Yeah, 22, 4, 29. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. Funnily enough, in this form, Scrolls of Torment are blue because they are like just a straight up upside for my character. So, I'm using +8 gold scales with 6 armor, and I have less armor class, less evasion than I had when I was in statue form. Less HP too, but better defenses. Wow! Wow! Look at that! Better defenses, better resistances is an understatement. Yeah, look at that. That's 3 pips of 5 fire cold and resistance to negative, which makes it immune. Also immunity to poison, resistance to electricity, resistance to corrosion. Pretty much max resistances. That's pretty good. The only downside is that my defenses are weaker. My resistances are way better. My defenses are not as good as they were in statue form. But I'm also not slow. Yeah, that's another important thing. Let me get rid of this thing before bad things happen. Let's see what happens when I melee. Okay, I'm actually meleeing pretty hard. Your damage rating with an armed combat is 23. Base 15 plus 23 on armed combat. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, okay, let's do the thing. Oh, so I cannot siphon essence. You're immune to negative energy. That's lame. At least the game has the... Oh, can I not do it? I cannot do it because I don't have 20 mana. That's the reason why I cannot do it, because I am surrounded by some monsters that I could siphon the essence from. I wonder how viable it is to do a cigarette with this kind of thing. I could try, but like I'm afraid that I'm gonna die. Let's pick up the ringmail of Sot. Should I try a little bit of a cigarette? I am tempted. I am so tempted. Like, the reason why is because this thing is pretty crazy. It's a question mark. That's how you know how strong it is. It violently draws upon the vital essence of nearby foes, halving their remaining life and using it to heal the user. Transmutations. This should say shapeshifting, I'm pretty sure. Shapeshifting skill increases the healing received. This effect applies to anything living, undead, demonic, or angelic. Anything whichever lived or sought to. Allies are unaffected. So it's torment, but it also torments undead. Man, imagine tormenting mummies. Wow, this looks funny. Allies are unaffected. That's even. Oh man, this is crazy. This is one of the greatest changes that Crawl has received in a very long time. This is all the things that I didn't like about launchers, like they're all compensated for by talismans. I really am enjoying them a lot. Let's just go try the cigarette. Yeah, I'll try like 15 levels or so. How do you not know? Oh, you don't know how to get there because it's enclosed, of course. There's a talisman that I didn't find. I didn't find the Stormform talisman. I think I found all other talismans. I have already said what I have to say about the Maw talisman, for example. I think that it is unfortunate that it's not part of the starter kit of the Shapeshifter, but it is weak. Weak enough that the window for you to actually want to use it and finding it is like very slow, like very low. Like if you find it between the start of the game and Lair, you might want to use it in that period. But like by the time you enter Lair, since it removes your body armor, that's really hard to use with a lot of species. Some can make use of it, like Draconians and Gargoyles can probably make use of not having body armor and having more damage output and healing. But something like what I'm playing right now, like a troll, cannot really afford that luxury. Most other species, in fact, cannot really afford that luxury. Blade hands, same thing. You lose armor class from your body armor, if your skill with shapeshifting is not super high for blade hands. Like at this point, I could use blade hands and it would be okay. But like I have better things to use, so I'm not using it. Dragon Blood is Dragon Form, like literally just Dragon Form, except that it keeps scaling. And now if you have 27 shapeshifting, it deals 40 base damage plus the claws, so it's 46 base damage. It's not terrible. The Talisman of Death is what I'm using right now. Serpent Talisman I didn't use for the same reason that I didn't want to use Maw Talisman and Blade Talisman, because it's just very low amounts of armor class for the point in the game that you get it at. And like I really, really am not into the low armor class gameplay, you know? Wizardike, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Have you been having fun with talismans? Because I have been enjoying them very thoroughly. I have already cleared Sod 5, and now I am going to do a little bit of a cigarette without spells. Melee Troll with Death Form. It's gonna try a cigarette, and we shall see how it goes. I was in statue form for almost the entirety of the game. Like from the point where I got it kind of usable at around 10 shape-shifting up until just now that I got 21 shape-shifting and I went for death form because I wanted to try death form plus gold scales. I have been using statue form and like it's so strong. Statue form troll is so powerful, especially when you can get it so early into the game. I feel like that removes any weakness that troll had. Like the weakness was that late early game, mid game, things started to hit really, really hard. If you have statue form as a troll, that's not gonna be an issue, and it indeed wasn't an issue for me. Yeah, it was great. I think I had like two moments in the entirety of the run where like I had to actually play you know, better because I was playing very poorly throughout all of that run. Um, you just want an angry troll shapeshifter. I had the Hat of the Bear Spirit offered to me at some point, but I didn't want to grab it. Instead of that, I'm using this Hat of Fire Resistance, minus willpower. But since I have three sources of willpower, I'm okay with using that. Um, yeah, yeah, this has been a great character. Let's go try this. Let's see how it goes. I didn't know until just now, but the Siphon Essence ability torments undead. That's insane, in my opinion, that it can torment undead. Um, Not a bad thing, for sure, not a bad thing. But it's kind of insane. I wonder what's the radius. Does it show if I try to do it? It does show. It's like Cleansing Flame. It's not that great, but it is going to heal you very thoroughly. Um, let's read this thing once again. Offense and armed combat base damage 9. Cool. Okay, so far nothing to really mention here. Nothing too special has been happening. It's just an early part of the cigarette. No orbs of fire, no demons, nothing to really worry about. I think that the single most dangerous enemy that I could see here would be a Tzitzimitl, because they have this spell on that, and I am not interested in being in the receiving end of that today. Okay, the one time that I want Guardian Serpents to surround me, they don't. Siphon Essence, because I want to see how it looks, what it says. Okay, it's literally Torment. Cool. Cool. You feel stolen life flooding into you. You feel better. Yeah. Tormenting a bunch of things always makes me feel better. Uh, Must be a warm, cozy feeling that you get when you torment so many monsters in that form. Oh, I have a potion of experience and I'm not at 27, so sure. Oh, you cannot drink potions. That's kind of annoying. I feel like maybe you should be able to drink potions if you have no monsters in line of sight. I think that maybe that could be an interesting compromise, so that I can drink my potions of experience in this cigarette. Dexterity. Okay, back into that form. I still have only 5 evasion. Feels kinda bad. In statue form, like I have so much better stats. Let's use it. Let's use it just to show you. 41, 9, 30. My resistances are worse, but I have better stats for sure. Better defenses, worse resistances, and I'm also slow, but I have a lot more HP. Anyway, 286. Oh, that's 4 statues. Kind of spooky. I wonder if it works on statues, the Siphon Essence ability. Trying to position myself properly to use it. Perhaps not the wisest thing to do, but I have these. This should heal me pretty good. And yep, you regained 81 HP. That's a big number. Oh, maybe I shouldn't ignore the Master Archer. That's the main reason why I was taking so much damage there. Did they get hurt? Okay, the ice statue either didn't get hurt or it just healed super fast, but I think it didn't get hurt. That's not a great ring for me. That's kind of okay, but I don't really want it. My rings are pretty okay, and I also need the 2 sources of fire resistance, or willpower rather. I kind of do need them. Otherwise, I would get rid of the ring of this ring. Yeah, that was kind of really strong for the point in the game where I found it, but not anymore. Yep. When I found it, I thought that I was not gonna find anything better than that. But it turns out that having statue farm from so early into the game makes it so that you don't really need to have those incredible resistances. Okay, so far this is pretty funny. Like, I think that step one is getting to half HP. Step two is pressing Siphon Essence, going back to almost full HP, and step three is just killing the remainder enemies. Um, hmm. Oh, I was thinking that Potion of Mana plus Siphon Essence would be really strong, but I guess you cannot do that. It sounds like it could be very interesting to try a god that gives mana plus Siphon Essence. Like imagine here Sif Muna channel so that I could just do it now. Like Sif Muna channel, Siphon Essence, fight a couple of turns, Sif Muna channel, well, Siphon Essence, because at that point Sif Muna channel will have already restored a bunch of my HP. Um, Yeah, I'm getting destroyed because of my really, really low evasion. That's the main issue here. So it's a bit of an issue. Yeah, Troll is probably not the best suited for doing this kind of thing. Um, Think that I'm about to tap out, but I would like to keep going. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, I have 12 scrolls of linking, 5 scrolls of torment, so I can just blow everything that I have in case things get truly, truly scary. I wonder if it works on dancing weapons. Siphon Essence. Okay, the dancing weapon is unscathed, but the demons are not. Yeah, Ice Fiend, good luck tormenting me. I'm the one who torments. It feels weird to have an ability to torment enemies. I suspect that it would be great fun with something like the 7 League Boots. I have done 7 League Boots plus Polar Vortex before, where you intentionally rampage into the middle of a bunch of monsters and then you press Polar Vortex and then they all die in like 3 turns. That's pretty funny. Unsafe, but funny. I suspect that something like that could be done um, with with Siphon Essence and Death Form with much more safety for sure, because at least Siphon Essence heals you for a million damage or for a million HP. Yeah, pretty good. I wonder if this can be done if you are engulfed. Interesting. Yeah, I bet it can be done if you're engulfed. Would be weird if it wasn't the case. You know, I should change my RC file to never auto pick up Guardian Spirit, because Guardian Spirit is a pretty lame item. Talking about things that could be removed from the game. Okay, we got to 37 armor class. Took a bit, but we are finally at the level of armor class that I was in statue form. Siphon Essence. Big heals. Alright. That was not difficult at all. Man, I think that I'm sliding down a slippery slope of doing a 15 rune run, and I don't know if I want to do a 15 rune run. Ideally, I would like what I was thinking was gonna happen was that I was just gonna pick up the orb, and I was gonna end the game, and then I was gonna end the stream. Um, but with the way that this is going, like I am more and more interested in the idea of doing a 15 rune run. But I really don't want to because it's a 15 rune run. By the way, am I chopping off Hydra heads? I am chopping off Hydra heads. It's kind of annoying. But I hit pretty hard, so even if they get chopped, I am at the point in the game finally where it is reliable that if I hit a monster, if I hit an Hydra, it's gonna die instead of healing. It only takes for you to have 88 damage rating with your melee attack for you to be able to do that kind of thing, it seems. Oh boy. Oh boy, Revenants have Dispel on Death. That makes them dangerous. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Okay, how are we going to do this? We're going to do it in a safe way. What's the safe way? Blinking over here because yeah, over here. Let's just play it safe. There's no need to get fancy. I have already cleared Sod 5, so all that, like at any point I can just get out of here, pick up the orb, and just win the game. So I don't really need to worry about preserving my consumables. I would love to drink Potion of Attraction here, and then like attraction and just like hit things. It's a bit of a shame that it takes so long to on-transform and stuff like that. I wonder if it takes 5 turns to just activate another form, or if it takes 5 turns to on form and then 5 turns again to reform. Because if so, that makes switching forms mid-combat completely unviable. Um, anyway, I don't want to find out right now. I would like to not die. So let's just hear finesse, I suppose. What else am I going to do? Cannot use potions. Um, you yell at the curse skull. Well, I wonder what that invisible thing was. Careful with the revenants. Like, the revenants are the most scary thing by a mile, because 3 dice of 27 undodgeable, unreducible damage is pretty spooky. I am very surprised by how this has been going. Yeah, I thought that it was gonna be significantly worse than many, if not all, of the other levels that I have done, just because Revenants, but it's been going very well. Like, yeah, I even was slowed at some point, and I didn't really take a lot of damage. Surprising. I would like to not enchant the ring mail of Sot. Yeah, might as well preserve it in all its purity, just as I found it. It seemed like turns to switch forms when you tested it. That was experimental. Okay, let's take a look at the turn counter. Let's do it right now. Okay, it says 5 there. Yeah, it was 5. It was 5 to just activate the item from here. If you unform and then reform, I'm sure that it's more than 5. It must be 10 if you do it like that. But why would you do it like that when you can just activate another one? I hope that it's not an oversight and that's how it's intended to work. Because 5 turns in mid combat is significantly more feasible, more of an achievable thing than 10 turns mid combat. Okay, this is gonna be the last one because like I'm spooked by this demon spawn blacks on a torpor snail. Why is the torpor snail not slowing me? I'm confused. I feel like it should slow me. Hmm. That thing is about to paralyze me. Is it capable of paralyzing? Like, it's a smite targeted. It's gotta be smite targeted. Not line of fire. That means that it is smite targeted. Being paralyzed by that would be quite bad, so we're gonna blink. Not blink away, we're just gonna sit here. I can kill everything. Oh, I shrug off the repeated paralysis. So I did get paralyzed. I didn't move away from its line of sight. Unfortunate. Where did all my mana go? Is something draining my mana? Am I fighting ghost mods or something? I am fighting ghost mods or something. I cannot drink potions. This might be a slight issue because like what I would like to do right now would be to Hero Finesse, Potion of Mana, obviously, but I cannot. Oh, Potion of Invisibility, of course, to prevent the continued draining of mana, and of course, Siphon Essence to torment everything and to speed up the process of doing this. But I do not have access to such things, so instead what we are gonna use is Immolation. Well, Torment Immolation and then just punch something. And since they're all tormented, that should really speed up the process of killing everything. Yeah, it actually did kill everything. Beautiful. For wins, another potion of experience. Yeah, cool. Cool items. Another manual of shields. I would have liked to find a manual of armor at some point. Double willpower ring. That also would have been pretty useful at some point, but like at this point I don't really care anymore. I'm about to get out. These close calls have made me, I don't want to end my first run of this in a disappointing way by like dying in a cigarette by accident, like a cigarette that I never intended to complete in the first place. From the very first moment when I went in, I said that I was gonna do it until like 13 or so, and I did end up getting out by 13. Um, yeah, that accident with the ghost moth and the fact that you cannot drink potions is like too many variables, and shifting in and out of forms is a bit dangerous and complicated. So it's for the best that I just call it there. I think tomorrow I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna try different species, Shapeshifter, and we shall see if that character shapes up to go to extended. I'm gonna be definitely interested in that experience. Um, anyway, cannot just get in there because there's traps. So we are just gonna stand next to the trap and we're gonna get in there. Cool. Now let's pick up the Orb of Sot. There's too many ring mails of Sot. I only want one ring mail of Sot. The one that I'm carrying is spawned right on top of the Orb of Sot too, so it is the rightful ring mail of Sot. It's gonna be interesting not to have to worry, or not having to worry about demons in the Orb run. Of course, as soon as I say that, angels spawn, but I think it's only a care of. I can easily kill that one. Yeah, as long as it's not like a Seraph band, we are cool. We have seen some demons already, some like tormentors, but it's nothing too bad. You have Iron Shot, you have no evasion. I also happen to not have any evasion, so Iron Shot is pretty scary. Slow weak drains, man. The whole combo from Death Form, because that's what it does. I'm not sure that Mummy Form had that before. Let us on making Mass Confusion, Blink Range. I can probably kill it. Let's give it a try. A couple of hits later, it's almost dead. Pretty slow. Man, this is a pretty strong character, not gonna lie. I look forward to tomorrow. Oh, look at that, a Seraph Band. That thing that I said I didn't want to see. Cannot haste, so my only option to not die here is to, well, first of all, not fight it. With 39 armor class, Cleansing Flame, which it can do, is not that terrible. Yeah, it's only really bad when you're in mummy form with like 12 armor class or so, which does happen every now and then. Um, but not to this character, definitely not. I have gold scales for a reason. I want to see the Panlord. What do you do? Energy Bolt and Sleep. Yeah, and it has no evasion, so I can easily kill it. Okay. Just collecting Panlords casually, because why not? Oh, another Seraph Band. It's as if the game has detected that I'm in mummy form. Teleports. It's gonna take forever, but I would rather. Oh, I was standing on the stairs. Man, that happens to me always. Happens to me so frequently. Hey, destroyed Menkaure. Yeah, everyone knows that the right way to deal with Menkaure is to wait until you have mummy form so that Menkaure doesn't kill you. Um, oh, I should probably inspect the Panlord. Wow, it has a million evasion. I have Ice Blast. On the one occasion where I would have preferred to not have Ice Blast, I have Ice Blast. It's fine. I am still very, very good at unarmed combat, so having it is no problem. And Hell Sentinel. Man, we are destroying everything that there is to be destroyed. That was crazy. Yeah, pretty crazy run. youtube.com/@9settler. And then we're going to inscribe this with twitch.tv/9settler. And we're also going to inscribe the potions of experience. Yeah, maybe kick one of these days. Maybe. I kind of do want to move away from Twitch because I feel like Twitch is a very like Twitch, the corporation has a very toxic relationship with the streamers like me, who like we don't have like a huge audience that directly donate to us. So they take like a bunch of the cut, and that's like pretty lame in my opinion. So that's why I was considering moving to Kick because at least they have a better share, like when it comes to that. Um, yeah, like they also have bad stuff, but like at least when it comes to the good stuff, it's good stuff that benefits me more um, than Twitch. So that's why I'm thinking about it. I haven't really done it because I don't know. I don't really want to go into that site, but I probably should. YouTube no good. I don't like the streaming format of YouTube. Like as a viewer, I don't like the chat. I don't like the layout. I feel like, well, the only stream that I watch on YouTube is the one show from Linus Tech Tips. But I still do not like it. And to be completely fair, Linus does go out of his way to not really interact with the chat of YouTube because it's pretty low quality. And that's another one of my issues. Not necessarily that the streamer does not interact with the chat, but that the chat itself is low quality. Like, I don't really want to like have that kind of chat. So I feel like Kick might be the way to go. Also, YouTube doesn't like I cannot really even monetize on YouTube yet. Um, so Kick like gives a better share, so might be the way to go. I have to try it in order to really know, and I haven't really tried it. Who knows? It might take a while for me to actually do that. Um, yeah, so one other character has been won, my first attempt at winning a shapeshifter, and it ended in a victory. 1-on-1 shapeshifters. I could retire from shapeshifters now with a 100% win rate, but I will play more tomorrow, and I'm sure that I'll lose some at some point. Troll of shapeshifter is just too powerful. Yeah, especially if you find statue forms as early as I did. Um, Incredible character, very enjoyable. It took me 3 hours, and you saw that I went on a tangent um, to do part of a ziggurat. If I hadn't done that, I would have won in like 2 hours and a half. So yeah, very enjoyable character, very good run. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I will now proceed to raise the sumo stream because sumo is happening right now. So if you want to see some sumo, it's not gonna be the higher division sumo just yet because that starts much later into the night. But we can watch some sumo. And also, if you're not already following Wizard Ike, you should consider doing so because whenever I'm not streaming Crawl, there's a chance that Wizard Ike is streaming. Um, so yeah, if you wanna watch some Crawl, just go to Wizard Ike or to Particle Face or to all those people on Twitch who consistently stream Crawl. That's a nice thing about Twitch, the community part. Um, YouTube definitely doesn't have that. But anyway, enough talking. Let's just go ahead and end the stream. Wraith, see you around. Have a nice rest of your night. I appreciate your continued support and thank you for everything.